when you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome on into Movie Night. I am in the hot seat again. It's me, Chismondo. I'm very sorry about that, unless you like me, in which case, thank you for coming. As always, we have got a huge group of people with us, some of the awesome minds from the internet gathered in one place to rip apart the stupid. Before we start that, I just want to say a big hello to Chris, who's watching but not with us on the panel tonight. So hi, Chris. And hopefully we'll all see you back on Movie Night soon.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind...
Invisible.
Unless he becomes invisible. What if he does? Maybe that's why he's not here.
Yeah. And that would be an extraordinary scientific discovery in any case.
My goodness.
Yeah.
That's kind of blown my
Shield's
mind.
video feed, was that supposed to be showing the image of what we were seeing, like the little 2001 opening and all that? Because all I was seeing... there we go.
2001 was a
see,
very okay year for certain people, at least.
Yeah.
That's what happens when the guy is pressing the buttons, doesn't press all the buttons, the video feed doesn't appear. So I did that. Sorry.
That's true. That's true. But at the very least, you can recognize that nothing you could do in this show will be worse than what we're about to see in the videos.
Yes.
I'll take that bet.
Oh, that's a high climb. That's a high climb, Keith. We're going to hold you to it.
Let's There's still time. I've already made a few mistakes tonight as it is, so I'm not going to be too cocky about things. Oh dear. With that in mind, let's see who's here. So, well, James, say hello. How is the world treating you? How are you doing?
A busy little beaver. I was
yourself?
just watching Erica interview with Jonathan Baker on geology. There was a busy day. I'm working on chapter 2 of the new Rocks Were There book, where I'm going into the flood mythology and the Younger Dryas climate thing. And there's just so much neat science stuff. So I'll take my brain off of that and see the stupid here.
Speaking of geology, RJ, have you run into Nick Zentner?
Nick Zentner is superb.
Yeah, he's from your neighborhood.
Yeah, he's in Ellensburg at Central Washington State University. He does online. The lectures he does for his class are available online, and I can just say that nothing that Zentner can put on the air will not be of interest.
I'm a big fan of his. I forget exactly how it was that I discovered him, but I fell in love with his work. Yeah,
I found our local PBS channels and that show some of the videos and stuff that he did that popped through the Idaho thing, and then found that he was on YouTube, and one thing led to another. He was doing a fabulous series. In fact, we're going to be referencing it in the new book on the paleogeology of the Pacific Northwest, which the stuff that existed before what he calls the German chocolate cake, which is the big volcanic eruptions. And this is stuff that's absolutely impossible to explain from a creationist point of view. So we're going to be calling attention to all these exotic terrains of the Pacific Northwest.
Because just lately, I can't remember how old these programs are, but I've been looking at the stuff on the ghost volcanoes, as he calls them.
Yeah.
And it's captivating. I just can't.
It's an
cannot
interesting
put it
bit
down.
because he has a theatrical background. He started out in like theater, not geology, and only discovered that in the 1980s when he went on like a field trip for a geology class that he took and found shit, he likes this. And the life was changed. But the fact that he uses that theatrical quality and the props and all the rest, there's an improvisational theater aspect to what he does. It's just absolutely delightful. Yeah. Have we sold him enough, kids?
Yeah, tune in by all means. Yeah, because being in Ellensburg, I knew that you're in the Spokane area, so I'm thinking, you had to have seen him, right? So
and the series that he did on the exotic terrains of the Pacific Northwest, if you Google that, he did like a 26 episode thing on that was just meticulous, and it brought me up to speed on an awful lot of the science literature of the last 10 or 15 years. It's just really, really exciting and so far removed from the creationist numbnutsery that it's just ridiculous.
Okay,
Yay.
I'm sorry, RJ, but currently our favorite geologist is Steve Bauman because he bought us off by sending us a handful of Uperlites.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay, then.
See if it's going to have bribery.
I got Sloth Girl a ultraviolet flashlight so she can play with her Uperlites and make them glow in the dark.
Ooh.
Now that is nifty.
Oh my.
So how far did I
we
get
and
down?
Hillel, both being from Washington State, we provide a slight counterbalance here to where we're dominating because we have more state here than the other people in the feed. So there.
Okay then. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's because outside in New York, you need like 3 East Coast states to make a normal Midwest state.
True. Or remember when Alaska entered the Union, they were snarking about Texas and says, but Texas was saying, that they're now small. And says, you better watch out, Texas, or we'll split Alaska in half and make you the 3rd largest state.
Yeah. Yeah, it's surprising how many people still think Texas is the biggest state in the Union.
Yeah, and they forget that other stuff up there in the thing.
Well, there was the one joke when I was very young with the Alaskan saying, "Oh, Texas, now you're not the biggest state anymore," and then the Texan says, "Yeah, but not after you melt."
Well, it's also the double whammy that not only is Texas not the biggest state, but Alaska produces more oil.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
But they don't freeze their pipes the way they do in Texas.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That is such a joke. I should do it.
It's not a good joke or a bad. It's just a joke.
Yeah.
So have we stalled long enough, Cheese? Or are we going to actually see
in these quote unquote science classes, they tell you there's
we're
3
supposed to be
states of
watching
matter.
videos, aren't we?
In these so-called quote unquote science classes, they tell you there's only 3 states of matter, but you go to any map, you see there's 50 states.
Yeah.
Which is it,
dear.
Obama?
Good grief. Oh dear. Do I want to go around? Does anyone want to say hello? Does anybody want to say hello?
I'm back.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh my God, I miss
Hello.
that so much.
Wasn't he sweet? But he lives in our hearts and minds and will be indestructible for that reason.
Yes, absolutely. I tell you.
God, I don't even remember how hello started. It was probably
Oh, there was
geez.
some English flat earther or something that put that in their statements that they were calling it hello, and that and Cy
like
just
the,
riffed off of that, and pretty soon we were just doing this long
like a
routine with
McFly
the
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, because part of me thought it was like just him playing off of like the old hey, can you guys hear me? No, we can't hear you at all.
No, this was actually, as I recall, it was actually a line that one of the flat earthers had said in a particular pompous way that immediately set Cy off, and we just ripped off
either
of it.
one that sounds very neither would surprise me.
Yeah. So anytime you hear from now on, years from now, if somebody starts going, hello, hello, hello.
The problem is that you need a group of other people to go off it, because if it's just one person, you can't just be one person.
Exactly.
Sitting there going,
because
we
we would have like when there would be like 10 or 12 in the thing, it would be ricocheting back and forth, and Sean would be coming in with it, hello.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why I keep doing this every week. This is a living memorial to Cy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I see 5 stupids on the pie. What is on our show?
Yeah, what have we got?
There are indeed 5 stupids on the pie, and I've not put many words into them. So
that's
every single one of those
fair.
is completely illegible.
So it's I haven't quite. I need a lesson from Cy Strickland on how to work the wheel, because I haven't cracked it yet.
Yeah.
So we've got breatharianism, aliens, strangeness, hell, or ships, and that's as much as you're getting out of me.
And if you put all of those together, you have a Camus existentialist play.
Look, for the other day I was thinking, oh man, I really need some escapism. Why don't I read The Plague?
Yeah. I'm waiting for the musical.
Well, out of those titles, I'm sure that
interesting.
Strangeness is the one that Sloth Girl submitted, so I've already seen about half of that one.
It is, so that's it's just kind of so needlessly vague.
This is the interesting thing here, though. The one that's labeled Hell. Please don't tell me that that's going to be the Hell film that we reviewed for Shells.
I don't think it's the same thing.
I do like how you've color coded it red.
There was a character alluded to H-E-L, Hell, in Fritz Lang's Metropolis, but I don't think it's going to be about that.
Okay.
God.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we give it a spin?
Yeah.
I suppose we don't have
Tornado here, so we'll have to do a pathetic, wretched impression.
But RJ, do your Tornado impression.
Yeah. It's,
well, I can't do the impression, but I do know the incantation.
Then you go ahead, Orange, because you have the words. The words are sacred.
That
Speak
is true,
the words.
Speak the words.
Wheel of misfortune, turn, turn, turn. Show us the stupid, we must burn.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Say the line,
Bart.
And
we're at ships.
Oh dear. Unfortunately, without ever looking at anything more than the thumbnail, I'm afraid I know who this is.
Father's got the ship, it is
that's
blues.
horrifying.
Loving you has made me bananas.
You want to tell us so we can prepare, or are you just gonna leave us hanging?
Don't spoil the surprise.
Right.
Yeah, we're stuck with it either way. So.
Good point. Good point. Can't argue with that.
Will I be disappointed on the science front, Cheese?
RJ,
I haven't.
I guess.
I know who this is by. I haven't seen the video myself, so we're all in for a learning experience with this one.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm wondering to myself, is it like a classic like ships over the horizon kind of thing? Is it like some kind of stupid free energy thing?
Well,
is it about geography? Like people like saying that ships like that the ocean doesn't exist? God knows. I'm just on the edge of my proverbial.
Sitting on ocean liners, I'll be delighted.
My guess is that it's going to end up being wooden ships on the water, very free and easy, the way you know it's supposed to be. Yeah, somebody caught it. Caught it.
Okay, who wants to explain the reference? It's got to be RJ, I guess.
No, I know she's quoting from somebody, but I don't know what.
It's a song lyric. The more famous one is from Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, but the song was originally written by Jeff Kantner of Jefferson Airplane. It's called "Wooden Ships."
Okay.
And
see, there you have me completely
You guys better hurry up
overwhelmed
before I
because I
start
would have
singing
known that
a
not.
British tar.
Yeah, and it's a post-apocalyptic thing.
Ah, of course.
Ah.
A
Okay, let's see
British
what
Right.
the video
tar
has.
is a soaring soul,
Ew.
as free as a mountain bird.
You're all determined not to watch this video, aren't you?
Yes.
Look, you can't argue with me. Look,
Right,
if it works, it's not broken.
Well, unfortunately,
No, it won't let me.
We have
It
our
told me to
standards.
rotate my phone,
Oh, and she's filming it vertical.
but
That's
it
even
won't
worse.
let me. I've been
What's
looking
going
more at these millions of ships because I keep seeing them coming out of the sun, and there are beings that are attached to them.
Yep.
They're
It's who I thought.
brown-headed beings is what they are. Let me see if I
Drink
can bring
real
some more
quick.
light to them.
Aren't
Can
we
you
seeing like a
see,
volcanic eruption?
Quick thing, drink. Can I call drink? Is that a thing I
No,
can do?
please do.
Please.
What the actual hell am I looking at? I can't make any sense of what's actually on
I
screen.
think
at the
it's
moment.
like clouds over a volcanic vent.
No.
All I'm seeing is like a red line, and that's
Yeah,
it.
that's
No,
the volcanic
this
stuff
is a
like up
woman
in
who is
Iceland.
literally spending her days staring into the sun
Oh my
and
god.
deciding that any dark splotch on the sun is an alien ship.
So, wait, is this the sun we're looking at?
I believe so.
Is
But
this the same
no.
person that we were looking at a couple hours ago with the tractor beam coming out of the sun?
What?
Yep, same
I
woman.
think,
What?
I think it might be.
Okay.
The what's coming out of her? What now?
She was talking about a tractor beam coming out of the sun.
Oh god.
Yeah, and I suppose not actual tractors.
That's Star Trek 5, isn't it?
Something like that. Yeah, and no, we're not talking John Deere here. No.
Okay.
Honestly, I can't. I don't know if it's probably just the lack of context and the fact that I could count the number of pixels on screen with one hand. I literally have no clue. And
Yeah, well, I'm wagering that it's a volcanic vent that we're looking at.
How could you? It's literally just a line. It's literally just a red line surrounded by more red.
I've seen photographs of volcanic eruptions like in Iceland and all that, and you get these long line of very intense red crap coming out there. Assuming,
Well,
of course, we're
that's
looking
called
at
lava,
something
RJ.
that's a video as opposed to like a digital image. But with this nitwit, who can tell what the source?
Like I say, looking at her image, whatever this is actually hurting my eyes. It's so low res.
Oh, well. See, I'm used to watching 2001 A Space Odyssey where everything is oversaturated reds in so many different scenes. So this is
Okay,
easy.
but at least there's some style and at least like a giant baby in space. Like this is just it's just it's just red.
Just to step in there, this is a lady who believes that there are tractor beams with aliens coming out of the sun. It's not likely to be a work of cinematic
and space spiders that have held big feet in prison in caves deep in the earth.
I'm pretty sure the plural is Bigfoots.
Well, with her, who knows?
Well, wait a minute.
Well, what you were saying, I mean, there's a difference between, high production quality, the highest VFX that, money can buy, and, the difference between that and it looks like she's left her thumb on top of the image sensor.
She probably did.
It looks like she's just left her thumb on top of the camera.
It tells you when you're putting up video that would not impress people if you showed it in a theater in 1905.
Uh-huh.
Some kind of
Okay.
witchcraft.
Well, shall we play a bit more?
Yeah, let's get to the science.
The critique of this video is savage so far. I love it.
Shut
The brown heads on them right here.
Didn't mean to go on.
That's what it looks like. And when I'm looking at that, it's reminding me of some of the ships that I had pictures of myself with brown-headed beings in them.
Actual fuck.
But these
The
right here, look
brown-headed
at
beings.
this.
None of the other
Hello.
colors, just the brown-headed
Hello,
ones.
wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello from my heart to yours. These came out of the sun.
Did they
See them?
really? Mhm.
And they're
In
not
HL for-
satellites. They're not. They're those ships. There's like millions of them.
Are they
I
sure
know.
they're not
Looking
anal
at 'em.
beads?
There've been very few times during these videos when I legitimately have not just no idea what they're talking about, but I literally can't even see what they're looking at.
Yeah. if they could like pull back to
Would this happen to be the
context.
same?
They
audio.
come out of the sun like from another
Yes.
dimension. I know it may sound strange to some.
Oh, that's what
I'm
happened.
trying to see if I can bring some more light on it. I really do, because look at this.
My end.
Look at what? Look at
This
the look.
is
Get a
the
better look at
sun.
what the. I have no idea what
They
the
are
fuck I'm
Well,
looking at.
there we go.
Aw,
There's the sun.
that
Cute
is
little
exactly where it
sun.
came from.
Bless
This
Helios.
whole entire ship with beings.
I can feel my brain cells
Um,
lining up to jump off
And
the
this
plank.
is from '07, so they've been around for a long time. But I've been trying to get
It's nice
some
that you got
images
that from
had
a thing that's labeled.
more of
Could
like
you have
these
told us where?
round brown head beings or something.
The fuck?
Why
It's
why
not
does she
normal, and
think
they're
there's
attached to
brown there
these
when all we're seeing is
ships,
red?
These big long ships that can make themselves long or short. That's
What?
exactly what they're doing.
Ooh. Space sperm.
And wait a minute.
Yeah.
Drink real quick.
see, like,
First of all,
two
okay,
eyes.
RJ. First of all, you can't just say that. You cannot just say that.
Well, I
Um,
just did, young
Hey,
man.
hold on. I feel like you guys. You ever heard the allegory, I suppose, of how when Columbus and his ships came to the New World, like the natives, it was such a foreign concept, it was such a foreign concept that they couldn't see it. Like that's me, but with this video, like it's just I literally don't understand what is happening, and it is not helped by the fact that she's apparently recording her screen with her phone just to add an extra layer of incomprehensibility to it.
I don't get that.
in
Why do they all do
2000
that?
Somebody in 2007 did a video which was about these things coming out of the sun, which she is now watching, and with or without good picture resolution, that she is now deciding are long, brown, squiggly spaceship things.
She says ship. I literally have no idea what she's even looking at.
Because she has no idea what she's looking at.
What is this? The same woman that I know? Logic is this the same woman that Logic has responded to a couple times. She sounds familiar.
Logic did a
Yes.
few on her.
Okay, it's this woman. Oh God.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
she is either serious and seriously deranged, or a smartass trolling Poe who just decides to spew gibberish because she can make some money and kill some time at it.
Is she making money?
I hope not.
She's probably monetized. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, easily. I mean, since we seem to know who she is, how many views does she get? Does anybody know?
If only she was getting paid by the fucking pixel, she'd have no money to her name.
There we go. Yeah.
Well, she doesn't have as much cleavage, so she has to make it up with pseudoscience jargon.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Well, it's nice
why
to know
would-
that we're seeing something other than her in the same
why?
clothing that she wore all the time before.
Last time I saw her, she was in camo, so she's practically
in the kind of black basement of doom decor. But apparently there's something which came out of the sun, or at least according to the unspecified 2007 video. Typically, the things that get thrown out of the sun aren't typically so straight liney. So I would be questioning that this might not. This could be CGI.
Honestly, that looks like a laser pointer through fog. What that looks like to me. But
okay, that would work.
No point asking for a source because I can't even see the whole goddamn image.
Yeah, you think it's somebody that's pointing a laser up at the sun and then making a recording of it, and then she doesn't understand.
It's impossible to tell because you can't even see she doesn't provide a source. You can't even see the whole thing at once. It's 3 pixels. I don't know why this particular video is making me very irrationally angry right now.
Yes, I don't blame you.
Her videos are the counterpart of the people that that become really rowdy when they're drunk.
Wait, hold on. Who's streaming this? Mr. Cheese. I wonder, would it be possible to change the format so that instead of streaming like your screen as you have it now, that you stream that you're doing the stream from your phone, which you can hold up to the monitor, because I feel like we just need to decrease the quality.
And would Orange want to do an oil painting of that for us to see?
Yeah, then you need to communicate that information through a kind of tableau.
Yeah, and then we can make them into like tiles that we can do, and then we can sell the merch for space alien spider tiles from the sun, and make some money off it.
Yeah, it's a T-shirt, but on the T-shirt it's just 1 pixel.
Yeah.
God, this is awesome.
She would mark
Okay,
it
let's try to get through
a
this.
Rubik's cube where all the tiles are the same color.
Purple, you're right. We should keep going.
That's true.
Part of the issue, I think, part of the issue with this one is the sun didn't look very, very big in this picture, because we clearly saw a lot of curve. So it's not a very big picture of the sun that we're looking at, even though we're on the stupid format. Which means that whatever this line is coming out of it is huge.
Yeah, and plus the fact that nobody is going to be taking their little smartphone and taking direct pictures of the sun that way. It's really kind of great, I think. So there's something fishy about the source material.
Yeah,
whose
and also
provenance
apparently
she will never
real
tell
event
us.
that happened where the sun just made this abnormally straight line which would have to be hundreds and thousands of kilometers long.
Yeah, the sun will come out
How
tomorrow.
did no one else
notice? Spaceships
Apparently,
will come
no
out
one except for
from
the
the
one
sun.
person who took this picture noticed that.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on.
I'm still waiting to
Purple
see the
smoke.
brownness that she insists is there.
In a row in a face. Can you all see that? Two
No.
eyes in a
No.
row in a face.
Face.
I don't
Face.
know
This
what
is some happy
species these
people
are. I
mention.
really do not, but I know
You
that
beat
there's
me to it.
some types of beings.
Beings.
That are attached
Yeah.
to these. Look at
Their
that. They
beings
literally-
are attached to them.
They come through the sun. You can see that perfectly right there, except for the things on my screen. The screen.
And I now.
Gina, can you zoom that? Yeah, I can do it.
She's
I can't.
recording on her
They
phone
probably don't want me zooming
her
up on 'em.
LCD screen.
They
Yes.
probably
Isn't that
don't.
amazing?
What a genius.
Okay, these. Some people were still dismissing this as Elon Musk satellites. These ain't Elon Musk satellites coming out of the
You know what? I
sun
don't think it is Elon
like
Musk
this.
satellites.
They're not. They're actual ships. Now, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Let me flip
Hello.
this around. Let
Yeah,
me
they look
just
so
say
very
this.
ship-like.
Gina, will you do this? I can do
No,
this.
she meant to say shit.
I've
Wait a
seen
minute,
a neighbor
wherever
with.
you are
Oh, there
in
she
any
is.
part of the
Oh,
world. It's a little bit too dark. Hello from my heart to yours.
No, it's not dark enough.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get a good image. I wanted to get them just coming right out of that
Well,
sun.
you
Oh,
failed.
keep
We've been
trying.
wanting
Well-
to get one good
Texarkana.
image in any
I've
video.
been through Texarkana. I have.
Well,
Good evening,
goody.
everyone. Where there's lights
Hello
popping up
again.
everywhere. Well, there are lights. There really are lights. Yeah, look at these.
Wow, I miss them here in Spokane. I guess I'm underneath
This
the
is,
shield.
You
this is
must
from
be.
07. Now you know Musk
the fuck does
didn't
that
have
mean?
his satellites up there with
December
beings
of
attached to them.
07
Oh, so
from.
2007.
These
Okay.
definitely have
Somewhere.
beings. Look, it looks like it has even.
Well, definitely have beings. Yeah,
Definitely,
Cloud
it's
wisp
clear as
things
day.
sure
Yeah,
look
all the-
like that to me.
Like, they're all just
they
there,
literally, these are the
being.
ones that you can see that literally stretch
see them
across
waving.
the breath of the
Yeah.
sun, all the way across you all.
If you come very close,
Wow.
you can hear them singing. We
It looks like they
represent
still got
the
some of the
lollipop.
plasma or whatever this is on the sun coming off of them. Is what it looks
Just
like.
in her mind.
It really does. But out of the sun, it makes you think, what is the sun? In order to have
What is
these
the sun?
Is it
things like
marzipan?
that, it really
Does it have a creamy nougat?
It makes me wonder because you can see a head on them
Can you?
right there, and there's
can't
other
see
images
shit.
Sure.
too. Hello, Polly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are
Hello.
other images also.
It looks just as head-like as anything that
Um,
also doesn't look any
yeah.
more head-like than that.
Oh,
You
I
always
also
remember
wrote on a comment
potholers,
section.
you
I
know,
think those
there
were
ain't
mountains.
any fucking carbon in it. That's
ski
just
path
me.
lights.
There
I
aren't
saw a
any fucking
daytime picture.
pixels.
is what I saw. See, and there's like,
Okay,
I
my
don't
head
know about
hurts.
these images they put up.
My
It looks
eyes
like there's
hurt.
something in that hole too. What if they live inside there? What if it's their home or something?
Well,
Yeah,
let
the-
me
Oh,
tell
my
you
goodness.
about the secret life of the
Jesus
sun,
Christ.
lady.
I literally
Yeah.
have
And there's
It's just very,
there's
very,
no gong here.
No, we've
Very
installed one. We can gong this. We tell, just say
Yeah.
it. Somebody
Here,
say
let's see,
somebody say it.
continue.
Somebody
Okay, I only did
please.
that one
There we
part
go.
Somebody-
because I
Sloth
wanted to
girl
see
just
it.
did. Gong!
Shut up, Meg.
I see that one.
Is that one of us making that noise, or is that her?
Sorry, what was the
This
question?
lady is so impressed by things that shouldn't be impressing her, and apparently is never impressed by things that should. We've
Whatever it
landed on
was-
Mars. I mean,
I'm
it's an
not sure if I
amazing
could
world.
convincingly say that I just watched something, because that would imply, that there were things that happened, movies
Yeah.
they used to be called like moving pictures, right? That I don't think that classifies.
Yeah, Naval Lint has more interest than this video did.
God, I feel like I need to go put on my glasses after that.
Oh dear, 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 dear. Boy, she's so
Oh.
impressed. Well, remember, this is a lady that took the cover of a movie and turned it into a gigantic scenario of space insects.
Oh, I remember. I remember
So
that.
the idea that she could take a nothing and turn it into the little faces and all of that,
If she is for real with all this, I hope she's doing okay.
Yeah.
In the sense of like able to care for herself. in
Imagine
some
her at
capacity,
Thanksgiving
because I don't know
dinner.
how anyone can be quite. I don't know if gullible is even the right word, because I just don't
Well-
even know how she comes up with any of it. I'm not sure if she's someone who's feeding her this stuff, or she's somehow coming up with all this nonsense.
She apparently streams like 50 videos a week, so I think it's safe to say they don't let her out.
And she basically lives on the media doing this.
I don't know how anybody could manage 7 videos a day. I really don't.
Well,
Even
if you
Kim-
don't bother about having actual content and just dither, it's
Okay.
relatively easy.
As you can see, they're very low effort.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
just points at something and says there are space things coming out of it, and that's all it takes. She could probably do that with pictures of Scrabble tiles or the back end of a cat's butt.
I mean, you
It
show
would
this
be
woman, like,
nice
some
if I could figure out how to do that, because shit, if I could do that and get money for it, I might be able to afford
Do
dialysis.
you have integrity and intellect?
Unfortunately, I do.
There, you're screwed. That disqualifies you.
That's
Gotta
my
have
problem.
I was
a
about to say something,
guileless
but it
and
just
limitless
snatched it right away
capacity to
from me.
bullshit.
I could
think
get rid
I
on
think-
YouTube if I could get rid of my ethics.
I think watching that video just literally killed me. I think I'm dead now.
Wow.
Well,
I've passed on.
Are we going to do every video on that
Wait,
wheel by
wait a
the
minute.
time this is done?
Does that mean we don't need to
Maybe.
watch any more videos? We can just try to debunk one of the panelists being a ghost?
Yeah.
Yes, please, yes.
No, you can't debunk this. This is real. It's happening. Wow, it's shockingly the same, except I feel stupider.
How is life from the other side, Hillel?
Oh, shockingly dull.
Oh, so it's like watching that video.
It's
Oh,
you know what?
man.
It is just what hell is just watching that video.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we saw so much red in that video. How exactly is the hell gonna hold a candle to that?
I feel like if you just showed this woman, like if you just generated some white noise, you'd be like, "That's a demon face right there."
Yeah.
There, coming down.
What she could have done in the old days when there was like the static on the broadcast TV when the TV went off the air, which they used to do in the ancient times before 24-hour stuff. And she could find, instead of realizing she was seeing the hiss of the Big Bang, she would see faces and space.
She'd be like, damn, this is my favorite channel.
There's something fun we could do. We could put together a video and just send it to her saying that it's footage we captured and asking her what she makes of it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Don't do that to her.
Oh God.
Maybe I don't think this is the sort of behavior we should encourage. This poor woman is dealing with enough.
We could call it the so-called video.
Oh God! But what is it? Breatharianism, hell, aliens, and what was the last one? I can't read it.
Strange.
Shenanigans. That's what it was.
Strangeness.
Oh, strangeness. It's not shenanigans.
Strangeness.
Maybe it's strange shenanigans.
Strangeness.
Well,
Who the hell?
it could be entertaining if there was some actual shenanigans in it, but I don't think we're going to be that lucky.
You know what? I'll take shenanigans over blurry red any day.
Yeah.
Spin the wheel, spin.
You know the Princess Bride. I feel like that video sucked 5 years of my life away.
Oh, we're at hell! Oh, goody! We get to find out what hell is.
You know, I feel like there are so
Yay.
many life choices that took me to this moment, which I'm regretting them all, each and every one of them individually.
Now remember, hell is le spelled backwards.
Yes.
I thought hell was other people.
Or watching that video.
Hmm.
Okie
Yeah, I
doke.
wanna-
Here
I
we-
wanna see
How long
Daddy's
is the hell
Paradise
video?
go up.
Yeah.
How long is the hell video? About 57 years.
hell was
just let me
eternal?
just let me check. Hell is 11 minutes and 48
Oh,
seconds
well, that's not too frightening, maybe.
of glorious stupid.
Baby.
So the
Okay.
title of this video actually is "The Joke Is on Them. Hell is going to be very crowded."
Oh.
It's them.
So
Which-
now we're
which
talking
them is
about
this?
the booking of hell. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Define
Okay.
red.
You've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't
animated.
figure out just what it was? Then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time.
I forgot the intro
But
to
not
this was so
anymore,
long.
because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of
okay,
it.
it means
Wake
less
up,
content.
because this is a call for an uprising.
Call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. If you don't like
This
crowded
sounds like
places,
something
if
out of Pray
you don't
for
like
You.
amusement parks, maybe the mall on a Saturday, pre the 1-9er,
What the fuck?
maybe airports, sporting events, concerts, right? If you don't like
Maybe you're
crowded
just a really
places,
antisocial person.
you're probably not going to like hell. So you probably want to make sure you have salvation, because it looks like the list of people going is getting very, very large. If you look at what's happening in this world with the falling away. And look, I'm not somebody to say who is or isn't going, because that's really between them and God. But we know that these celebrities have already made their deal. I don't feel any sympathy for these people for the most part, except for maybe ones who are pushed into it at a very young age by their parents.
Oh,
because they might
drink.
not know
I've
any
got to
better, but
put
they
in
still
a thing here. Yeah. My dad, when he left the Mormon church, all of his relatives said, "You're going to burn in hell, Rulin." And he knew about how to make furnaces and stuff. He says, "Well, I'll install a stoker."
Okay.
So that's
love
been
how we
kind of
started
my
off with-
attitude on that. All the interesting people are going to be down in hell, apparently. So if it's a way of avoiding this prick, that's go for it.
It's like you're telling me I get to go to hell and meet all these celebrities? Wow, that's
Absolutely. My gosh, it's going to be really kicking. Let's find out. Let's
I
find
do-
out
I
who
do
we're
like
going to
how
be
we started-
partying with in hell.
I feel like
I
how we
bel-
started off with, man, are you an antisocial person? Do you just hate being around other people? Well, then then be saved, because hell will be,
Heaven
there'll be
will
lots
be
of people,
all
and you'll
for
have to
you, and
interact
you'll
with
have
all
this-
of them.
Idiot.
And then also,
Yeah, Ted
again,
Cruz.
the
That's
immediate
all it's going to be up there.
the
If
immediate
all the
contradiction of,
preachers
oh,
and
I'm
pastors
not
are
one
going
to.
to heaven, hell is definitely going to be a better place.
I also love how the immediate contradiction of saying, "Man, I'm not going to say who's going to hell and who's not, because that's them and
Except
God."
I'm gonna
But
say,
these
yeah.
celebrities.
Yeah. I don't
believe
think
it was Bill-
logical consistency is going to be one of his strong suits.
absolutely not on that one. I believe it was Bill Hicks who said he would rather be in hell, listening to Jimi Hendrix, smoking a joint, surfing on a lake of fire, and high-fiving Satan every time he does a lap.
Yeah. Or
Look,
Frank Turek. Frank Turek just a couple weeks ago pompously tweeted he just didn't like all of these atheists that were bringing up the idea that the Christian thing was hate-filled and was trying to project fear upon people over hell, and he really wanted everyone to know that if you went to hell, you would be terrible in terrible places. So he embodied the very thing that he was saying was a caricature.
God, we live in a society.
Yeah,
That's
we're
questionable.
sociable primates,
Thanks, Dana.
but we don't pick fleas off of each other as a rule.
As a rule.
As a rule.
Yeah, Turek and I are not getting along well, and I'm amazed that Turek hasn't blocked me yet.
Are you cyberbullying Frank?
Who, me? Would I do such a thing?
I did ask. Pearl Frankie boy.
I've already attacked his fake credentials on his thread, and he hasn't blocked me yet because that PhD of his is one of those dime store PhDs.
He may be one of those that's utterly indifferent to any criticism, and he's not vindictive enough to actually do the blocking thing, unlike a Ken Ham who just pounces to make sure that nobody's allowed to see the stuff that he doesn't want to.
Maybe he just thinks you're too pretty.
Yeah.
That I find difficult to believe.
I take the compliments.
Yeah. But he has actually blocked Jen with one N. And I'm talking to her with wait, you've done virtually nothing, and he's blocked you. And I'm on him every other day, and he hasn't blocked me yet.
Very
what
curious.
The fuck,
perhaps there's some little factotum that actually does the blocking, and they have a capricious nature, or we're out of town.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
so let's find out who is going to be going to hell and what the criteria are, and whether or not they serve canapes.
Ah, yes, there you go. That would be.
Here we go.
That would be yummy and tasty.
A chance to find salvation and repent. But people like this, Jared Leto. You know Jared Leto, the world's worst Joker? Apparently he's reprising his role as the Joker. And who else would they be mocking other than Jesus, right? And I'm sure Jared had no say in this whatsoever, because we've only seen him mock Jesus at the Met Gala. We've seen him pretend in his cult. I can't even believe people listen to this garbage music that is Jared Leto's. Have you heard this music? You want your ears to bleed? I mean, your ears won't just bleed, your butthole probably will too. That's what Jared Leto's music will cause. Now, forget what the depiction you might think of Jesus is. Obviously, what they're doing here is mocking with the crown of thorns. That's what this is. And Jared Leto has been doing this for a long, long time. Now, I don't believe that I'm anyone special because I'm not. I know I have two channels that are really, really large. This channel I'm doing this on now, not so large, 50-something thousand people here. I'm greatly appreciative to have you here. But I do know this, that a lot of celebrities probably have no idea who I am, and I don't care if they do or don't. But I do know Jared Leto knows, and I know Jared Leto has blocked me from commenting on his videos, and I know Jared Leto was trying to do conspiracy videos too. These celebrities are so soft. They're no different than the liberal people out there. They can't take criticism. So could you imagine if someone like Jared Leto was a truther? Could you imagine? Can't take criticism. Try having a truther channel. All right, we get like 20 videos made about us every single day with false accusations. These celebrities, anything of, oh my gosh, they made fun of me as the Joker.
I think he's on a rant here.
Jared
He's
Leto,
got a crush on the guy.
I've exposed so
and
many
he just
times.
Can't get over
there
it.
are probably more photos of this guy doing the 666 oversight. Here, let's just take a look right now. Here's Jared, as you previously are seeing on the screen, of course, as his Joker Jesus betrayal, right? Which is just disgusting and disgraceful. And again, don't forget, they only will mock one person. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. They don't mock anyone else. Do you ever see him mocking Buddha? Do they mock
Buddha
Muhammad? Do they
is
mock
more
anyone
fun to
else?
hang out with.
No.
It's called a reference.
How about Kali, the freak with the 12 arms, or the Shiva? No. They just always do this with the crown of thorns. We've seen Kanye do it. I mean, the list goes on, right? These celebrities that do this, they do it in its artistic expression. We say anything about
Kanye West, wasn't he for Trump?
well, anybody else, and it's hate speech. If you catch my drift. Look at Jared Leto here. Picture after picture after picture. He makes sure he holds his finger over his eye. I mean, I guess it's the first thing he thinks of whenever they're like, "Hey, Jared, can I get a picture?" He's like, "Sure, hold on."
So his sampling consists of one person?
Or is he just a big Donald Trump supporter, right? Isn't that the Trump symbol, the MAGA symbol, right? Over and over and over.
Just a hand?
Right?
That's not even over his eye.
There's a triangle of power symbol, right? That we always see these celebrities do with their hands, holding it up. The tattoos on his arm, right? It's supposed to mean water and fire and the things of the earth.
He's like an Aleister Crowley
That's what they try to.
groupie.
Oh yes, though it's all has to do with witchcraft. These people are witches and Satanists.
Witchcraft.
This guy is probably one of the biggest mockers there possibly is, and the guy is just embarrassing.
Okay, is this going to be
He's
the
hanging
Jared
out with this
Leto
guy.
hate
You don't
show,
know who
or are
this
we
guy
going to
is?
get?
Okay, I have an earlier video, and I'll just rehash who he is in case
Why
you
the
don't
fuck
know.
do you care?
I believe his name. I know his last name's Richardson off the top of my head. Terry Richardson. Terry Richardson. What do you think? Just looking at Terry Richardson, what do you think he's into? Huh? I can't say it on YouTube, so now you can put one and one together, right? He loves a good pizza, that's for
Now
sure.
in ad
He's been
hominem
accused of
mode.
doing all sorts of stuff. Want to look it up? Go ahead. Can't talk about it now on YouTube. All sorts of things, on set. He just suddenly became a real famous photographer. He's been known to be photographering for
think he's in
Miley
Rush
Cyrus,
Limbaugh
Wrecking Ball,
photographer.
the things that he's worked
God,
on.
I love
So many big
photographering.
shoots with celebrities, right? Oh, and where else? Oh, Bohemian Grove, places like that, where he's photographed and done video work, right? Do you think he got there because he takes better pictures than people who have iPhones do? It's a real special skill that he's got, a real clever, keen eye, right? Just another one of the brothers in the brotherhood and the fellowship. And they get away with these accusations come out after him and no one says boo, right? So this is Jared Leto as the Joker. Let's not forget when Jared was...
Oh boy, we've got a drink. All right. We get to stop this for a while.
Just that this guy, just the whole thing that anybody with an iPhone is the same as a professional photographer. Or just does he have any clue?
People do have iPhones.
Yeah.
I just this is so rambly and not at all cogent.
So we got
You don't like this one guy. So what? Who cares? Why would anyone watch this and think, "Oh yeah, he's making some good points here"? The guy sure does. Put a hand on his face. Who cares?
Yeah, that's about it. He's got a lot of pictures of the guy touching his face. That's all.
I feel like he was also doing some QAnon stuff there earlier. It was like, oh man, this guy likes pizza. What?
Yeah.
I guess he's one of those types. Sure. I guess.
Well, I'm sure he was trying to imply that the guy's a pedophile.
I guess, yeah.
So my plan
it wouldn't surprise me if this guy. From what I've heard of him so far, I don't know. I have no idea who this guy is, but the actual video maker. But it wouldn't surprise me if he's one of these QAnon types.
We got
So
Jared
they're
Leto
talking
in hell. That's it so far.
He's rambling like it. I will say though, this guy on the right, he's got a good shirt there. I like that shirt.
Okay, well, can we at least go to chipmunk mode to get through the rambling faster?
Please.
If you can get past Jared Leto to some more people going to hell.
Oh, please, Mr. Cheese, could you put it into chipmunk mode?
I will do my very best, but OBS doesn't like doing this for me very often.
Whatever you can manage would be a vast improvement.
It might even restart. So give me 1 second.
Oh no!
6 minutes and 16 in.
No,
I'll set it to.
His cute animated opening. It was downhill.
If you've ever had this feeling,
it's just there's so much rambling that he's not even making any accusations, let alone points.
He's just saying that he doesn't like this one guy. Apparently, you're like, oh, people, what are you, some kind of photographer? I have an iPhone.
He's apparently
What did he call
hater person of note.
What did he call them? Photographer sizes or something. It was a weird photography word he'd invented.
Engaging in photographer ring.
Yeah,
Photographering. Yes.
One of my big hobbies is photographizing.
That's
Yeah,
when you
Tesla
take your
Ranger noted that one as well.
F1 lens and make it an F2.
Clearly, this guy gives no Fs.
Yeah,
It
pretty
doesn't
much.
give an F.
But he also gets an F. But
Okay, this is at 125%. Hopefully, this doesn't upset OBS too much. And here we go.
Let's not forget when Jarrett was pretending he had this huge cult thing I covered.
I was not mentally prepared for that.
People who are obsessed with his music, which is just look. Like I said, the people just worship these people. I mean, they just do. They're social influencers. It's gotten so out of control that it's very scary. And this is the false idols that the Bible warns.
This it's just a second. It's like, man, these people, they worship these people. Thankfully, we have the Bible where there's no worship of any kind going on.
Right, absolutely.
It's just like there's no pause, just immediate shift, immediate contradiction. Man, I hate hero worship. That's why I love the Bible and Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I wonder if Jerry Falwell Jr. is going to make it to hell.
Also, I just don't understand this whole thing of like, they're mocking. Like, it's called a reference. Like, do you not want people to make references to the Bible? Would you prefer if it was just some kind of obscure text that no one's heard of? Like, what do you want?
After Cali or Quetzalcoatl, he wants an equal opportunity religious illusion.
I mean, but the whole point is that Christianity is big. That's the whole point.
That's, you go
like,
after.
If people want to make some references to Vishnu, that's fine. But the point is that no one would get those references.
Or Nambia.
Oh, jeez.
Should we watch a little bit more?
I suppose.
And that speed seemed to work fairly well.
If we have
shockingly well.
And
I
fast.
was not mentally prepared for that frequency shift. It really did.
Tried by the previous video, and you're dead.
Well, unless somebody in the audience would mercifully give us a gong.
Well, I think we're all looking at the side chat, just hoping that the word no, too late.
Because these people actually believe in their head that they're actually real life gods amongst us, and everyone else is going. But here he is dressed up, pretending to be and act like Jesus. Obviously, I'm not saying that this is what Jesus looks like. This is the depiction, right? And this is what he's doing. He's making everyone bow down and kneel on their knees in front of him. I mean, you can't make it up.
Okay, we've got the Jared Leto show.
Everybody find a spot to lay down on the ground.
Sloth Girl is giving a gong.
Shut up, Meg.
Whee!
And there it is. Gone.
Yeah, maybe I assumed the whole rest of the show was just going to all be about that guy.
Was that it? I've learned so much.
Yeah, about the way Jared Leto dresses.
I think the only point he made was that he didn't like the Jared Leto Joker, and that's it.
That was basically it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. If he's so concerned about people mocking and misrepresenting Jesus, I hope the one in his church looks like an Arab.
Yeah.
Again,
you just know it doesn't.
I'm just not sure what his best case scenario is for that. I mean, he comes across like it's like, oh man, I would love it if there's just no references or depictions of Jesus in any form. That would really make me happy.
But this
guy just sounds like he can't walk into a church because he sees some thing of Jesus on the cross. Like, what is this? What is this unholy? This idol? Get this out of here!
Yeah, take all those crucifixes down.
Yeah, exactly. What is it? Some kind of idol worship?
But I was looking forward to making my list of all the damned celebrities that he was going to tell us about, and he gets stuck in a rut on this Jared guy. So all of my need to take vicarious pleasure in the eternal damnation of celebrities was screwed because he has not been comprehensive.
Yeah, I was expecting him to start going down a list of all the pop stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
Rest. I mean, this could have been a really excellent video of Stupid that would at least have a degree of fresh content. But all of this rut here where he's making fashion accusations against this poor schnook, and that's as far as it went.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, the wheel's back.
Yeah, we got 3
Yay.
left. We got aliens,
Junsu was
and we got
saying if the drink count.
strangeness, and we got something that's too small to read but looks like bread numbers.
Breatharianism.
Ah, there we go.
Yes.
That's for those who either are breathing too much or not enough, or if you're not breathing at all, you probably aren't going to be hearing one way or the other.
Yes, breatharianism,
not
otherwise
even.
known as hyperventilation.
Yeah. Purple, you were trying to jump in.
Just Jinzu in the side chat is saying if the drink counter's only at 5, why is my glass ready for a refill?
Yeah.
Oh, that deserves a drink on its own.
Stupid programs we let run on too much. We needed to, if Tornado were here, he'd be stopping every quarter microsecond, and we
It's
would
amazing.
be
We're actually making remarkable progress.
Yeah.
Just one wing sparrow in the side chat wants their money back because I guess trade descriptions on the last video it was supposed to be about hell and it ended up being about photography. So we will be issuing a partial refund to one wing sparrow.
No, not photography. Photographerizing.
Photographerizing. I need to write that down. That's such a great word.
That guy should get sued for misrepresenting the content of his insanely stupid video.
Yeah.
At least if you're going to do a show about hell, focus. Take pride in your dogmatic insanity. Make your content match your title.
Wow.
Okay, well,
We've
for
been
Sparrow,
catfished.
you know, we do have to maintain this properly in Cy Strike's memory. So for Sparrow, we must return double their admission fee.
Not to be confused with the High Sparrow in Game of Thrones.
Oh my god. You are impossible.
Well,
shall we continue though?
there's three on the. Okay, I was going to say who's going to call it, but it's been called.
Oh, we get the strangeness.
Strangeness.
Strangeness. What is
Shut
it?
up, Meg.
I can't wait to find out what's strange.
Oh,
Okay, I've actually
sorry.
seen about half of this, so you may actually have a chance to inject science in 1 or 2 of these.
Purple. Rhymes with orange.
Right, are we ready for some?
Oh, we're so ready.
Go for it.
I'm
title of
always
this
ready,
video-
but not for this.
My body is ready.
So the title is "Strange Videos That Defy Logical Explanation." Good luck with that.
Hey.
Oh, this is like stuff where people see like things happening.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah. It's gonna be one of these
How you
types.
doing? I'm Callan, and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some strange videos that
It's
almost
what now?
defy
Slapped
logical
Ham?
explanation. So hit that subscribe button and
Ooh.
get ready for more freaky content, just like this. This strange video was uploaded to a YouTube channel called Truck Stop. The footage opens with a parked truck monitored by a security camera. The truck is fine for a short while, however something odd is about to happen. Before our very eyes, the truck collapses directly into itself out of nowhere. There's no pressure or source of any force in sight. The truck appears to give into
Bullshit.
some invisible force.
ah.
Quite literally crushed into itself, the damage is sudden and alarming. Without any visible source or reason for the truck to behave in such a way, the sudden destruction is shocking.
Invisible Hulk.
Frustrated.
Oh my.
Canister's weight
Okay,
comes
Drat.
crashing
That is
down.
called
It breaks the
truck
truck's
debt.
lower half and sends the front
How that seems shockingly easy to explain.
Yes, it does, because I'm looking at this and I'm wondering what the ambient temperature is for one, because it seems like that's a tank truck.
Yeah.
So it seems that it contained partial fill of liquid, and the vapor above it condensed into more liquid, lowering the internal pressure and causing the damn thing to
Eating
crush in.
of the relatively thin tank that was designed to cost as little as possible because they thought they could get away with it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you guys, you seen that fun? That I think first of all, I think MythBusters they did one example of this at least. But I'm remembering like an example where you have the science experiment thing where you basically fill a can with with some water. You let it boil. You top it off, and then you pull the heat source out and you cool it down, and it just crumples like a can because of the pressure difference.
Yes.
That just looks like what's happening here. It even bends in the middle like it should, because that's where the pressure would be. Because that's where the what's the word I'm looking for?
If the motor carriage in front had been squashed like a fist coming down on the whole thing, that's what I was expecting. So that was anticlimactic. I was expecting a completely unprecedented, miraculous squashing of this, like a giant was destroying the little Tonka toy. But instead, we just get a imploding.
I tend to believe that Don Giovanni has it right here. They probably just steam cleaned it.
Yeah.
So you steam clean the inside, and it's nice and hot, and
See, I told you might get some science in here.
Yeah. Okay.
I love how also that we do have another example though of someone holding their phone up to a monitor of some shitty outside camera.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
What are you gonna do?
Straight line.
There's at least
down
I can count at
that
least 7 pixels.
That
So-
must be space aliens. Can you see faces there? If you look really closely in the trees, you can see faces.
There's some kind of invisible force. Yeah, it's called pressure.
Yeah.
The air pressure.
Okay.
Anyway,
It's what air pressure does to a container.
Yeah. Moving on.
Another truck
wanna see
rocking
some
back and
strangeness.
forth. Some viewers have suggested the truck imploded, perhaps due to some unseen vacuum. However, there doesn't appear to be anything attached to the vehicle that could cause such an event. Until further information comes to hand, this strange video will have to remain a mystery.
It's not really how that works.
Already solved the mystery, arsehole.
Hey peeps, just a quick interlude to let you know today's episode is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh my god,
Raid
if I
is an
see
epic
another
dark fantasy RPG that you've
Shadow
most
Legends,
likely
I
seen
am
a fair
going
bit
to
on YouTube.
use my own
But
ass.
did you know it has a crazy
you gotta
selection of
fast
over
forward through this ad
450
here.
champions?
Commercial for.
I swear to God, Raid Shadow Legends is a cognito hazard.
Wow, he's really selling that, isn't he?
Yeah.
There we go.
Exploding fully reveals itself to be an unsolvable mystery. In this video uploaded to Reddit by user MineKBishT3899. The short video immediately pans over to a mountaintop explosion.
No.
Okay.
We see an impressive dome of bright light as gasps from onlookers are heard in the background. The explosion pulses and varies in shape several times.
Okay.
The mystery surrounding the explosion only thickens. Uploader MineKBishT3899 explains that the mountaintop in question is located at a high altitude in the Himalayas near the Chinese border. Given the lack of infrastructure in the area, if a transformer had exploded, it would have sent ripples throughout the local community. He asserts that such an explosion would have knocked out power in the area for weeks. This would have made the news, or at least led to larger consequences. Instead, the uploader explains that the area went back to normal after about 20 seconds. Having occurred in such a dense forested area, it's likely an explosion of that kind would have at least led to some smoke, if not a large forest fire. The explosion led to neither. Strange videos such as this often end on a note of mystery, and this one is no different. If not a transformer or power line, what sort of strange occurrence is seen in this video? And just how did such a blindingly bright explosion cause no lasting impact in the area?
Would it by any chance be a sunrise?
What's more strange than one video showing a
100%
UFO?
actually addressed
How about
it,
two
I guess.
separate, unrelated pieces of footage that show the same event? These two
Wait,
separate
what the
strange
fuck?
videos
Can
captured
you
by
start pausing
Pedro
for a second?
Jimenez and Alfredo
To actually try and talk about the last one, but again, to me, that just assuming the footage is actually genuine, it does just look like a transformer failure. But that's just me.
Oh,
It has
okay.
it has the kind of sparky look to it that a transformer failure does, at least to me. But
Okay.
again, with no context, there's pretty much no way to say. I don't think.
Yeah,
But that's
without
what-
knowing what kind of installation was up on the mountain.
Presuming
as far-
that actually was on the mountain and not just like a power line that was closer, but just the mountains in the background.
And as far out of focus as that was, the cause, whatever it would not have had to be as great as what it appeared to be.
Yeah.
That whole out of focus thing, I would not be surprised, distorted the size of the phenomenon.
Light is bright. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Now we're seeing meteors.
Cool. Now, what's Mexico up to? We got Mexico. We have one blurry thing and two blurry things. Great.
Yay!
My favorite.
On the 22nd of May, 2009.
Whenever I say to myself, you know what, if there's really groundbreaking footage that changes all known laws of physics, I just hope that however we get that information, that it's as low quality as possible.
Yeah.
That's the way to prove everything.
If I can make out a single identifiable thing in the image, it's a failure.
Well, this is supposed to be the same phenomena being taped at the same time from two different angles.
Mm-hmm.
So why is one white against a blue sky and one is black against a white sky?
Don't even think about that.
You know, is the one on the left just negative?
Don't even question how we would even know that these are both the same, taken at the same time, looking at the same thing. Don't even think about that.
Well, that's what the narrative is saying. Okay, let's roll it a little further, see what we got.
Fredo Carrillo and posted to Reddit by user Luke511 seem to show the same UFO flying over Mexico. Filmed from two different locations, both men seem to have been awed by the same flying object. Both videos feature one central flying object, larger than the rest and seemingly almost flapping through the sky.
Okay.
In both clips, the larger central flying object is surrounded by smaller objects flying around it in a way that can only be described as neat and orderly. The first clip shows the objects flying around the central craft in an almost circuitous or orbital fashion. Rotating around the central craft, the flight pattern is unlike that typically displayed by birds.
Really?
Really?
The second clip shows the same central craft, this time with many smaller objects surrounding it. In this clip, the flight pattern seems to have changed slightly. The smaller objects are arranged on either side of the central craft, creating a straight line.
Except we don't know it's a
Both flight patterns more closely
really
resemble those of military craft than that of birds. A comment from Reddit user From Skin to Liquid seems to support this suspicion, supposedly leaking a CIA document featuring the description of a UFO similar to this one. The document also seems to confirm that these UFOs are not simply friendly visitors passing by. Similar UFOs have been described as hostile and unfriendly.
That's what hostile
Seemingly
means.
dangerous and militant in appearance, it appears the two men who captured these videos were lucky their encounter didn't take a dangerous turn.
Except it didn't.
So,
with its wide audience giving videos the ability
pause.
So anyway, that was probably just some birds.
Actually, watching the movement of the black object there, that just seemed like a small plane pulling a banner.
This feeling that something was terrible.
What the hell?
Something terribly wrong.
Sorry.
When are the aliens coming? That's a good question.
All of the videos have gone slightly mad. Sorry.
Oh, well, it was a short trip for this one.
Well, to be fair, that animation was the best thing we've seen so far.
That was, yeah. It was downhill from there.
For at least the light one, that just looked like a bird, and for the other one, either again bird or just plain towing a banner. Yet again, shockingly impressive claims and shockingly unimpressive footage.
Yeah.
Well, one-winged sparrow's got it. Absolutely. Those are just Tulu larvae. No. Will you get down?
Okay.
Down.
No.
Off the
I like
carpet.
it up here.
Bizarre flying glove, as opposed to the normal, nondescript flying gloves.
TikTok, the most reliable of sources.
Sylvia was
the
so
teachers
good about
in high school, they tell you not to cite Wikipedia. They never said anything about not citing
TikTok. Yeah, that's all perfectly fine.
Well, actually, RJ, do you know what TikTok is?
Isn't it one of those little streaming communication things where people put up extremely short, usually salacious kinds of film clips?
You know what? Close enough.
Yeah, TikTok is YouTube for people who don't have an attention span to exceed 1 minute.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Well, the bizarre flying glove.
Okay.
Why am I thinking of a yellow submarine? Glovey,
Yeah, that's the
wubby.
reference I was going to.
Yeah.
Well,
All you need is
let's have a look. Here we go.
But again,
Sarah
it's
Zaid
not
is
a.
here. This
Okay.
Sorry,
let's see how
RJ.
bizarre this is.
strange TikTok is divided into 2 clips, both featuring the same strange glove. The first clip seems to have been captured at night and shows the glove gliding through the room until it reaches the ceiling.
My camera caught this video at 3:20 a.m. and then the next morning I went to go see
The second clip shows the glove in question stuck to the ceiling.
and I found the glove with the fly on the tip.
With the index finger pointing straight out, it looks really odd just suspended in the air.
The fly is holding
The
it up.
uploader notes that there's a single
It's a
fly
strong
attached
fly.
to the tip.
And I found the glove with the fly on the tip.
The first video of the glove seemingly floating through the room on its own is eerie enough, but seeing the glove being held in place by an invisible force or invisible presence seems to raise way more questions than it answers.
And I found the glove with the fly on the tip.
What on earth do you think is going on in this bizarre video? Love to hear your thoughts on this
It
one in the comment
looks-
section below.
A drink. To me, it looks like a used condom stuck to the ceiling.
Why would you say that?
Just for no other reason than to be a jerk. I don't know.
As for the flying, that's like so easy to explain with just the fact of like you just pull it along with a little bit of string.
I suppose you could even do it with a flashlight if you did it right, couldn't you?
Actually, almost looks like a paper airplane.
Oh, okay.
But then again, I mean, the stuck to the ceiling part. I mean, there's this brand new and shocking invention called tape, and it attaches things with some kind of seemingly invisible force. It's called stickiness.
And of course, we have never heard in the history of humanity of teenagers performing scams involving either pictures or knuckle noises or anything else.
Right.
Never happened ever.
Yeah. Well, for the
It's a
flying
nipple
glove, I
noise.
was thinking if you take a surgical glove and inflate it like a balloon, and then you clip one finger off and let it go.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I would suggest as a working possibility that what we are seeing has an element of hoax to it.
Or alternatively, there's some poltergeist who took a unique fascination in some random glove.
Yeah.
And
the other glove is being
happened.
the other glove was saved by Jesus, but this glove went on a reprobate and started watching Jared Leto films.
And also, this person apparently had the foresight to conveniently have a camera which could film their living room at night.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that screen's set up already, so.
I think you're all being really unkind to what is clearly a really strong but partially deformed fly with one giant hand that just wears a glove around the house. It's a COVID-friendly fly, and you're all mocking him.
A really rough patch. He's the
Hey, Doc, sweetie, how the hell are you?
Oh, hey, Doc.
Oh, is there a doctor among us?
Yep, Doc Fearsome is here. Doc Fearsome's in the house.
Doc, do you think you can fix? We know this poor fly. He has this horrible deformity.
Yeah, it was being passed off as a bizarre glove.
Then also passed off as some kind of poltergeist by this poor steamed ham guy.
Yeah, we've already been through 3 films, Doc. I mean, it's been one of those nights.
Yeah, just one of those nights.
Okay, shall we get on to the next one?
Yeah.
We shall.
If we must.
There's something about hospitals that makes them rife for hauntings. With many sick
moves
people
on its
passing
own.
away in any given hospital,
Tell me
it
this
makes
isn't
sense
just
for
a
them to
trolley
be
going
ground
down a
zero for
hallway.
creepy, inexplicable events. Such is the case in this odd video uploaded to YouTube by user Ricardo Orellana. Shot in an empty hospital hallway, two men have captured a very odd event. The start of this video shows two wheelchairs placed in a hallway with a cart close by. With no one standing nearby, we see a cart begin to wheel on its own out of nowhere.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
So
It
they
makes its way
stood
down
there
the
for
hallway.
hours.
It seems to move without the help of any external
Without
force.
expectation anything would happen. And then
While
amazingly
many such
something
strange
happened
videos are captured by
conveniently.
security cameras when no one else is around to witness them, this video features two men at the opposite end of the hallway. The two men are seen standing and watching the cart as it moves on its own, apparently transfixed by what is occurring.
Yeah, how fortunate that they
Whether
had
it
the
be a
wherewithal
ghost
to
or other
just...
invisible force, something supernatural appears to be moving the haunted cart.
Huh?
Okay, that
Drink.
guy does not
There's
look
no way this
freaked
is
out.
getting
He's
away
just
without a
grinning.
drink. Stop, drink. Okay,
Or
so there are these
the
two
floor
guys.
is not entirely level, but the reason why the wheelchairs don't move is because their wheels are locked.
Or it's just some guy pulling it, probably. I mean, also,
The
there's
little
some
teeny
little-
little gerbils coming in there.
there's-
The two mice, the two
Oh.
mice from the Warner Brothers cartoons, they're out.
There's this. Oh yeah, there's these two guys who just happened to be in this hallway and just happened to start filming this random. What was it again? Like a fucking. What do you call it? A cart. It's making a lot of scraping noises for being a cart. So there's this guys and they just happen to be filming this cart, you know. What do you mean? What you guys just don't randomly stand in hallways and start filming random bits of equipment? You guys don't do that.
Just happened to be in a hallway with a poltergeist cart, but that chair in the front left of the shot there covers the bottom of the cart before it starts moving fortuitously.
Yeah, they also they don't go towards it to investigate it. They don't say anything to each other. They just watch it. And the guy even how fortunate he also turns the camera so we can see the reaction of this one guy. So as this cart is being carted away. It's like obviously this can only be explained by supernatural forces.
Yeah, Tony in the side checked saying fishing line, and I'll go with that bet.
Yes, I will say the sound the cart makes as it goes along isn't very unpleasant. But also, why is this hallway so messy? They just got a bunch of random stuff just sitting around.
Yeah, that doesn't really seem like it's something a hospital would leave the wheelchairs in the middle of the hall.
Yeah, hospitals
You know.
famously at night they just wherever stuff is when the shift ends, you just leave it there. Whoever comes next has to move it away.
Yeah, when the paramedics come in with somebody on the gurney, they just have to move the stuff aside because they come into the
They don't
emergency.
even need to. Apparently, they don't even need to move the gurney. They just put it in the hallway, and the ghost takes care of it for them. Like, hey, Barry, who died in 1683, could you take this to the EM? It's like, oh, no problem. This is stupid. Oh, it's funny.
Would you like to see a bit more?
Okay.
Oh, please.
Do we have to?
Before we take a look at a truly bizarre piece of security footage, remember to hit that subscribe button, then tickle that little bell icon there, and turn on all channel notifications.
I'm not going to tickle
That way
your
you'll be in the
bell.
loop every time we upload our scary and mysterious videos. Also, remember to punch that like button if you're enjoying our content.
No, I'm going to be punching something, but it won't be that like button.
Posted to Instagram by user La Guardarita del Terra, the final clip in this
Strange
series of strange
happenings
videos
at
features multiple creepy occurrences happening at once. This is a video viewers will want to watch over and over. A CCTV system captures footage of the inside of a bar. There are several individuals seen sitting at the opposite end of the room near the bartender. Meanwhile, the end of the bar closest to the camera features a stool. Slowly, the chair begins to start rocking back and forth. However, it's not until the stool topples to the ground on its own that the bar's patrons seem to notice that something's not quite right. The men are alarmed, they move to inspect the chair, checking for any reason for it to have fallen. Certain there was no one around the stool, the men seem to be perplexed by the event. However, while all three of them are distracted by the chair, an additional bizarre event seems to be happening right behind them. In a moment that would make any horror movie fan want to yell, "Look out behind you," a white object appears to speed past the group and across the screen. Apparently spooked, the two men seem to leave the bar right after placing the stool upright. With so many supernatural events happening around them in such quick succession, it's probably a wise decision. It's unknown whether the bar in question has a history of supernatural events or hauntings. The strange events caught by this security camera seem to defy a logical explanation.
Hmm.
Is that it?
Now, if you want to see some...
That's it.
Yeah, boy, that was sure frightening.
Chair fold over and white blur coming soon.
My heavens, we know that poltergeists have a thing for moving gloves around and occasionally knocking over chairs and causing white things to flit suspiciously past completely oblivious people. Wow, I am in terror.
I guess really it's just that all poltergeists really at their heart,
are boring.
Metaphysically speaking, they're all just interior decorators. They just want to.
They were just trying to do feng shui there, and they're not very good at it.
They're trying to vibe with the room. It's like, oh man, this chair. I'm not feeling that right there. I think it does.
I think this glove will just look splendid on the ceiling.
Something soft pointed out about that last one when we watched it before is the bartender appears to be like mopping, but if you watch, his mopping is in a rhythm that exactly matches the stool rocking back and forth.
Oh.
You know what? Why
Is that like rag mop? Rag mop.
Oh, there's a copyright strike.
Rag mop.
I don't know, RJ, are you going over everybody's heads here? Am I the only one getting this?
Yeah, you're the only one that got it.
Uh-huh.
It's from another century. It's an ancient time, back before stupid shill videos.
Actually, I liked them. They were pretty good. I did like them. We're talking about the Ames brothers, in case anybody is wondering.
Yeah, and anyone who had seen the yipes, not Daniel Boone, but the other. Anyway, he was with Fess Parker, and maybe it was the Daniel Boone series. He played the Indian on there. One of the Ames brothers was on there.
Yes, indeed.
This is from the Wonderful World of Color Television from 1965.
Cajun Crustacean says the white blur at the end was still the glove from the previous video.
There, yeah, it's getting around. Watch out, look around. Photograph everything around you 24/7, just in case. Errant flying gloves, because it's the other glove searching for the first glove, and they have been lovers, and they've been separated ever since.
I feel like you can technically. I feel like you could tie the glove to each and every one of those occurrences. Like, why was that? Why was the cart moving? Glove was pulling on it, obviously. The glove's got a hand.
And it was a space glove from the sun.
Yes. And
I just connect all of our dots here.
I just quickly looked it up. Yeah, that was Ed Ames that played Mingo.
Yeah, Ed Ames. Yeah. And when he was on Johnny Carson, there's a notorious moment when he was showing how well he could throw the hatchets, and it landed right in the crotch on the picture, and that was terribly in the ancient days when Johnny Carson was live from New York.
Oh my! I miss all that stuff. I don't know.
We're really old people here, and we remember ancient things.
Yes, I am amazed at how old I am. It's just mind-boggling.
I remember seeing 2 live Johnny Carson things that were cited as some of the reasons why they inserted an 8-second delay.
And then when he moved to Los Angeles, they cut and it was an hour and a half long show originally.
Yes,
hour and a half live from New York. And that stayed that way until he went to Los Angeles when they cut it down to just an hour. I date back to where I can barely remember when Steve Allen was hosting The Tonight Show.
Oh, okay. Now, I do not remember Steve Allen.
He was the one before Jack Parr. And I used to watch Jack Parr because it was delayed on the West Coast. So it was like 10 o'clock. And because I finished my homework because I was a really good kid, I got to stay up and watch Jack Parr. So that corrupted my little brain from an early age.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Now we've lost the entire audience who have no idea what the F we're talking about.
At this point, it's just a feeling I've gotten used to.
That's true, yeah.
You learn to live with it.
One of my favorite skits. Do you remember the skit "Things Found in the Hudson River"?
Vaguely.
Yeah, where he brings up a tennis shoe coated in concrete. Yeah, a wedgie, concrete wedgie, registered from the New Jersey side, which fished the feet of 3 bookies and a councilman from Red Hook. And then, let's see, a jar of mud brings that up. A jar of water from the Hudson, which explains why fishermen in the Hudson have to use braille bait. You know, he had some damn good skits.
Yeah. Yeah, and he also would have various people that were in stars on television at the time, but they had a career other than their television shows. So they would come on Johnny Carson because they could do their routines that they could never do on their series because they were stuck typecast. Larry Storch and oh gosh, I'm trying to think of some of the other people that were the one that played Mary Tyler Moore Show, the pompous newsman. He had a fairly sizable career and did radio shticks and all that, and he would be able to do his routine. And during the long hiatus when he was not as popular as he ended up to be again, Carl Reiner was in kind of an eclipse mode there for a while, and he would go on Johnny Carson, and he would be telling all of his old stuffs and all that. Anyway, have we lost any more audience?
They're all in another continent here. Yes, sir. They are incontinent. That's it.
And never once while watching Johnny Carson live did I ever see a cart move miraculously or have a flying glove. Not once. All that opportunity for the poltergeists to do all that on live television, and they missed it. They missed it completely. I would have liked to have seen a flying glove with Soupy Sales. He could have done something with it. That's also going to be over too many of the kids' heads.
No, RJ, at this point, like you said, I'm used to it. I'm so used to it.
Soupy Sales was had a kids show that was like the Pee Wee Herman of the 1960s because it was often unnervingly risque.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yes. What's happening? He opened up the door and there was obviously a naked woman on the other side of it, and he was just giving this reaction shot. It was intriguing. All the things you missed when you didn't live in Southern California in the 1960s watching non-standard television.
And there were the pie throwing things going on with Soupy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he briefly went on kind of like a national thing, and I can't remember whether or not, I think he's dead by now. He ought to be.
I don't know.
He just kind of just retired and went off, but I think he was still active. He popped up once in a while on Carson just as a guest. I seem to think even into the mid 1970s.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah, he died 22 October 2009.
Oh, okay. There we go. Anyway, it was a likable fellow. I think everybody liked him. Anyway, we got Aliens and we got The Breath that I'm sure we're not holding it for.
Yes.
I've been asked to
I see what you did there.
I've been asked to share something. Just give me 2 secs.
Wait a
Did you
minute.
find
Wait
the
a
other
minute.
glove?
What are you getting all? What are you getting all greedy for? You can't have 2 secs if I don't get any. I mean, jeez, man.
Well, just remember always to have sex with violins.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's why Lawrence Welk got taken off the air. Too much sax and violins. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
did you ever hear what's his name's a parody of Lawrence Welk, Stan Freberg?
I'm trying to remember.
It's available on a CD and stuff there, and he has a 1 and a 2, and too many. Turn off the bubble machine.
Okay, because I don't know if I remember I remember Robin Williams doing one, but I don't remember
Stan
Freberg.
Freberg, who I think is still around. And he would do television commercials and always had the most rapier wit. And appears very briefly, and I don't even think he has a word of dialogue in it in Mad, 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 Mad World.
Okay,
if I could just direct everyone's attention to the TV screen for just for a second.
We lost him. We lost him in 2015.
Okay. Okay, Chief.
That's the Pirate Kitty is from Cajun Crustacean. And Sai asked me to share it with you all. So there we go. That is a Pirate Kitty.
Hello, kittiness.
My tivers are shivering.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Suitable sound effects. There. Very good cueing. Excellent.
And on the wheel, because I forgot what we're supposed to be doing for a second there. Yeah. On the wheel, number 1 there says breatharianism, and number 2 says aliens.
Yeah. Spin the wheel. Let us get one.
It says 2 aliens, so we don't just get
2
one.
aliens. There should be at least 2 aliens in there.
That's video. It's actually video number 2, and it's aliens.
False advertising.
I don't want to set expectations too high on this one.
Oh, don't worry. They're never going to be.
Don't worry. They could not be lower.
Do.
Okay, now we get to see both of the aliens.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. Did you notice that we counted down all the way from 5, 4, 3? Now it's 2. We didn't jump around at all. That's suspicious.
Really?
Yeah, that sounds like it's rigged.
This could only be the result of supernatural forces.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
It's the glove.
Yes, it's the power of the glove.
glove.
The power of glove. Wasn't that a number in Back to the Future?
Yeah,
yes.
I think it was.
Guys,
Levy
if RJ
Lewis
said something, just go along with it like you know what, like you think you know, so he can trick you into thinking you know what he's talking about.
Are you patronizing me, Hillel?
You eat gloves in the news.
Hear me, abort plan.
And Sloth Girl says, if this is Gina again, I'm leaving.
I'm actually not sure who this is, so let's find out together.
When are the aliens coming?
Many people ask me, when will the aliens come? The aliens, our galactic family, if you want to call them. And in this video, I want to touch a few points exactly on this matter. When will the aliens come? So, of course, we all know mathematically the probability of us being alone in the universe is very, very small. It's actually so small that it's infinity small. And we know that there's others. But have we pondered the possibility that there's a reason why others don't contact us? There is a galactic rule, or you can say universal rule, although I'll go into what's the difference between the galaxy and the universe, because there seems to be 2 different things. The universe seems to not exist, or it can exist in multiple galactical form. Every galaxy has its own physical attributes, its own rules, if you want to call it. And right now, let's focus on our galaxy. So, in the Milky Way galaxy, there's 100 billion stars. Of course, we already said that there's probably other civilizations. So the reason that they're coming or not coming, or they're already here but they're not showing themselves, is first is the global consciousness has not selected it. People are not ready for it just yet. You might be ready for it because you know you're the type of person that watched X-Files and read conspiracy theories and understand that people are hiding things from us, like governments and different systems and Illuminati and Cabal and people that are, pulling the strings behind. Plus,
I'm shouting drink there. The reason why they're not going to talk to us is because we're still making videos about frigging gloves and putting them on the internet.
Yeah,
they're getting our signals. They've seen this movie. Would you come to a planet where that guy was making videos?
I don't think so. No.
Case.
Anyway,
in our video feeds, we have to stop sending signals out into the ether. They're going to. The space gloves will be coming from the sun.
Yeah, I've got a little cartoon that you know, this guy's asking aliens, you know, what's with the anal probes, and the alien pulls out the picture from the Voyager and says, "Well, you sent us unsolicited nudes with your address."
There you are.
That's. I will say though, the same mathematical principle about that, you know, we're probably not alone in the universe. I mean, that the reason because of that is that the universe is huge. The universe is so vastly, mind-bogglingly big. You can't really comprehend how big it is. And
you may think it's a long way down to the corner Kemet.
The likelihood, even if life does exist somewhere out there, there is also there's a almost zero chance that it knows that we're here.
Yeah, the neighbors are really far away. So even in our little spiral arm of the Milky Way, if there's maybe 10 civilizations, which may be a stretch, plus the fact that we're one of the older stars with planetary systems. So we have a good chance of being the oldest intelligent life form in our neck of the woods, assuming, of course, that intelligence comes pretty much automatically if you ever get that, but that may not be the case as well. So there's a bunch of things to put in there in that little formula that guy whizzed past in one of the technical papers that they alluded to, and which I suspect we are not going to get an analysis of in this video.
Right.
Yeah, even if life does exist somewhere, there's no guarantee that it's intelligent. There's no guarantee that that they have picked up or could pick up a signal from us in some respect, or that they otherwise know that we're here. And there's no guarantee that they would want to contact us back in the first place.
Oh, by the way, that was the Drake equation that I was
alluding
to earlier.
Thank you, Drake.
As far as leaving a signal and everything else, that would only be about 100 light years out anyway, because we started sending radio broadcasts in around 1920 or so.
Yeah, around there, and they were so ridiculously faint that although it has been pointed out that all the radio signals that we had got up to like the 1960s was the amount of energy equivalent to the impact of a single snowflake.
Okay. Yeah.
Arthur C. Clarke had that little number, which I goes, wow, that's more amazing than flying gloves, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he stole that shirt from Ron Jeremy.
Yeah.
It amazes me that we could actually talk to the Voyager probes way out there by the heliopause.
Yeah.
I mean, not so much the distance, but the attenuation.
Well, and as Neil deGrasse Tyson pointed out, in principle, if you built a coordinating telescope, you could construct a thing where you would actually be able to see planetary systems in other planetary around other stars, but you'd be therefore looking back into time. So if you could somehow go out like 1,000 light years from Earth and activate such a telescope, you'd be able to see the Earth 1,000 years before, if you could get out there.
Yeah.
Which is more amazing than flying gloves, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this guy is going to wow us with the aliens.
I wouldn't hold your breath on that one.
Yeah, well, that was the other video.
Let's watch a bit more and see where this goes.
Yeah, what's science?
There's the whole idea of technology.
Science.
Now, the reason that aliens don't come yet, is because we're not ready. We will be ready very, very, very soon. That's why right now what you're seeing is that the media is bringing out some information. For example, the United States just showed that they have pictures of 3 UFOs that they just don't know how to explain. By the way, it got washed away with all the coronavirus of 2020. Nobody even noticed that they did that. But they're slowly dripping all that type of information out there. Now, there's one thing that you should consider, that aliens are already here. We are those aliens. We are called the second wavers, the people that are interested in this type of stuff, Breatharianism, again, conspiracy theories, prana, and stuff like that. You are already built-in alien. That means that you are born, you're incarnated as an alien into a human being form. And that's why sometimes you feel like you're missing a home that you don't know that exists. and sometimes
so
you
you're
don't
an
really
alien and you
know
don't
why
know
people
it.
think the way they are, and
Okay.
it doesn't make sense to you, or you don't understand why there's so much suffering
That's
in the
stupid.
world as well, because you're not from here. A lot of people that I teach, for example, in the breatharian initiations, they say that it's more natural to them to not eat. Why? Because you came from a higher vibration, and it makes sense. Now, aliens did come a few times. Aliens crashed here, and we have evidence of that. We have so much, there's piles of evidence of technology that didn't exist. For example, microwaves and computer chips that didn't exist, and in 1 week, in 2 weeks, suddenly it existed, okay? That means that there's somebody that is making some type of connection, reverse engineering maybe from spaceships. There's other technologies that we know United States have, we know different governments have. For example, anti-gravity devices. There's already videos of them. And
tell
of
me
course,
how
the media
we
doesn't
know
want us to
this,
know about it,
please.
and the governments don't want. They want to
Effing
have the upper hand in
documentation
technology, especially in case of war. So there's anti-gravity devices. And there's free energy devices. In other words, the ability to create as much energy as we want. And they took them, they reversed engineered them. It's either that it was given to us as a part of an exchange, or we took it away, reversed engineered it from a UFO that crashed here, or we have, some sort of binding or contracts with them. Now, there's many different stories. What to believe and what not to believe. Does it make sense to you that we are alone in the universe? Probably not. So, there is a rule that says that they shouldn't touch us unless our governments, the people that we have chosen to represent us in a democratic way, a method, which I don't believe in, by the way.
Drink real quick. Did this guy say that microwaves are from aliens?
Might as well.
Reverse engineered.
Did he
Yes.
actually literally say that we only have that microwaves? They're just these these things which appeared overnight. It's not like people made the idea for them and then people made patents or anything. No, just like suddenly there were microwaves, and the only explanation for that is that they were given to us by aliens.
It's aliens, yeah. So
did he just say? Did he? Please tell me I wasn't imagining that he just said that.
They know that there must be a device that the humans must have so that they can make popcorn easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've seen this guy before. He likes to dress up in a lab coat and pretend to be a scientist to sell people on breatharianism, especially.
This isn't the breatharian guy, is it?
He's one of them at least. I don't know if it's the guy, but I've seen he has done this before.
Oh, so he crosses woo categories.
So let's just say his woo bingo card is really filled in.
Okay. Okay. Let's find the science. How much longer do we have for the science?
I love that you're still waiting for the science on this.
No, I am.
We've been waiting a very long time.
I want there to be the science. Imagine it would be like the little child on Christmas morning with all of their dreams fulfilled if for once we would get some stupid science in these things.
No, Artie, it's all stupid science.
No. Okay.
Well, mostly stupid, but
Okay.
Let's see if there is any science in this at all. I'm not.
I don't really believe much in the democracy that they display to us, because they kind of like giving us two choices, and those two choices are both in the box. And we want the choice that's out of the box. We want the people to be united. We want the people to be able to make that choice. And what they're telling you is, this is what you can see right now, and this is the options that we're giving you. But none of those options are viable for us. We don't even want that. So what they're saying is that they've contacted the governments, and the governments are sure that humanity is not ready for that yet. Plus, there's all this technology going around, and there's control of the masses. How do we gain control? Using fear. Imagine that there are other sentient beings, and you're not one of them. The first thing that happens is that you're afraid. What are you afraid of? Something that you don't know. What happens when you're afraid? You unite. Right now, we're divided. Each country has its own thing, its own economy, its own technology even. Import, export, taxes, control, mass control. What happens when you have somebody that comes from the outside? Suddenly, people are going to unite. Suddenly, we're going to be human again. And humanity is what we're going to have in common one with the other. So there's many things that are opening up slowly, but what you're going to notice is that the media is going to drip little bits of information, and as they are preparing us for that, because there's a huge war going on, really a huge one. And the last virus is...
Sorry, is that a drink then?
What the hell happened?
No, I just said drip, drip, drip.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
A little drip.
Yeah, this is
Okey
the
doke.
same conspiracy. There's a lot of conspiracy theorists. They like this narrative. Oh, they're dripping us the truth, which it just makes no sense. It just makes no sense whatsoever. It's like, oh yes, we're lying to we're lying to them. So we're lying to them in a conspiracy that is so airtight that they'd never be able to figure it out. So therefore, let's subtly and yet not subtly, slowly tell them the information. It's just stupid.
The meticulously hidden code in plain sight, built out of giant monuments.
It's such a stupid plan. They'd never expect it.
Yeah.
So wait a minute, Jen.
That Stonehenge points the way to somewhere.
So they took everything off his channel.
Yeah, they. Now, the problem is, he didn't realize that in addition to they, there's also them.
Okay, then. Yeah, okay.
And those didn't want them to realize that they didn't understand that those already had dibs on the thing that they didn't really already want.
Okay, then. Gotcha.
Now, I think that makes just as much sense as what this guy's telling me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's carry on.
It's really the darkness shouting out. Okay, shouting out. Let me cleanse myself one last time before everything begins to create harmony. It's like you're cleaning your room, right? And as in the process of cleaning your room, you have to move everything outside of the room in order to clean it up just one more time before you set it up very nicely. And what I mean is that you're going to set up the economy very nicely. It's going to be not as disturbing as this one. No masses of people being in debt, for example. No centralized dollar or one country that controls the world. There's so many changes that are about to come, but before those changes, you have to have a big mess. There are a few types of alien beings. Some of them are high vibration, meaning 4D, 5D and up. They can come, change form, they can be a part of us, they can blend as a human being. While others are just like us, maybe slightly more developed or maybe slightly less developed. Now, there is the rule, the galactic rule, that as long as a species is still in the wartime and money time and religious time, we cannot approach them. We simply cannot approach them. They have to be able to comprehend, galactic family. And if they're aggressive in any way to themselves, it means that they're...
You see, this is reflecting the one way of thinking about space aliens, that they basically are surrogate religion. They have the idea that they're sweet and wonderful and cuddly, and they want to have us do the right thing, and we are the poor base sinners who have fallen astray and have not listening to the word, except they don't want to go through theology school and seminary, and so they just get on the video and replace aliens with St. John the Baptist.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And what he's spouting over here sounds suspiciously like the what is that rule called in Star Trek? The non-interference rule or whatever.
Yeah, the prime directive.
Yeah.
Well, he's basically saying that. Yeah. The need for the Bible, so blindly trust in aliens.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
No, it's it makes a perfect psychological sense. This is the same kind of thing that in previous times. See, demons are not as popular unless you watch that previous video with the hell guy. So the space alien is now the supernatural force of convenience, and has the wonderful advantage that since there are none of them showing up, they never have to worry about it ever being counterfactual. I mean, if Klaatu did actually land on the ellipse in front of the White House, this poor schnook would be screwed.
Uh-huh. And Colorado Bike Prepper has a point here. The Pope is indeed secretly an alien from Beetlejuice.
I do love the higher vibrational beings, because they that's how you interacting with one, because you walk up to it and go.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're vibrating so frequently.
You say, clean your mouth out with soap, young man. That is a terrible insult in the snoggle-vlop-bloop-naggle language.
I stand by what I said. The people of Snoggle Block book had this coming.
Yeah. And they had it coming because they lost all of their right-handed gloves. See, it all
don't get into that. Don't do it.
We're
better than that.
If you just put it all together. That's how the tarot deck.
I'm gonna slap you with that glove.
Oh Lord.
Well, if you clean it out every once in a while with turpentine, it'll be okay.
Still has a fly on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, Colorado Bike Prepper says Belgium. I say Burma. Why did you say Burma? I panicked.
Okay, let's find out more about the aliens.
I'm not ready yet.
Oh, Diana, I'm so sorry.
Out of that
he hit you with the anyway.
Oh my.
Slowly. I want you to notice the big things that are happening around the world. People are uniting. There is a higher consciousness occurring. There's the central sun of the galaxy is sending light codes to open up human consciousness. So what you're noticing is that you're feeling slightly better than ever, and you don't even know why. You kind of seeing things more optimistically, one might say. And you're just happy with things as they are. Sometimes there's ups and downs, like everybody has, some worries and stuff, but you already understand that you are in a different timeline than you used to be. There's less control, there's less fear for you. I'm not talking about everybody that is around you. I'm talking about you specifically, the type of people that follow me and follow my teachings and my guidance. You know it in your belly. So, the question, when will aliens come? Soon. Soon. They're already here. They're amongst us. They're checking us out, okay? There's so many different... If you listen to the Pleiadians channeling, for example, you'll understand that we are preparing something. This whole virus thing that happened in 2020, it's just because before, or when you go under the knife, as you might say, when you go into a surgery, they have to put you down for a while. Your body has to be numb in order for them to be able to cut deeply and make some very profound changes within the body. Okay.
No.
What
that's just
the hell?
This is just
no.
I mean, this guy reminds me of no one as much as Jordan. It believes everything.
This guy basically he's basically just Jordan.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as soon as he pulled out that Pleiadian shit. Oh man.
On the poor Pleiades. By the way, that's the constellation called Subaru in Japanese, which is why stars on the little logo of the automobile company.
Actually, the people from there are called plebeians.
Oh, okay.
Little known fact.
Very little.
My. About the only good thing that ever came of that Pleiadian thing is I ran across a CD back when I was at uni the second time around by a guy by the name of Gerald J. Marco, if anybody knows about him. And it was called Dances of the Pleiades. And it was some pretty decent music. It really was. And as far as being decent, as far as it went, but it was kind of cute. It's the best thing that ever came out of it as far as I was concerned.
Does that mean that also the Dancing with the Stars has celestial import, and that could explain why the guy that was dressed in the weird flowered shirt was dancing, because he was really an alien? See, it all starts making sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So how much left do we have of this ignoramus?
About 40 years, I think.
Translated into human time?
It feels like, give me 1 second, it feels like 40 years. It is actually 2 minutes and 52 seconds.
Hey, that's less time than he could do sex.
Well, Facty is
How? That's okay. Does anyone else support the gong?
Yes.
I won't complain. Okay. I won't.
Yep, there's another gong.
And Sloth Girl's called it.
Shut up, Meg.
There we go.
Plus his shirt wasn't very nice.
It's interesting though. He reminded me of no one quite as much as the character Serge, the one played by Bronson Pinchot.
Oh, that's another one from the ancient days.
Sorry, do you have any references that are from this century?
No.
No.
Just be thankful we're not going for the 19th century, buckaroo. Bring on Lillian Russell.
Yeah, there we are.
Yeah, sorry, you're stuck in
right.
here with a group of old fogies.
Yeah.
A quick question, slightly really. Do we? I feel like we should still spin the wheel, but part of me wonders if we have to.
Why bother?
Yeah, we have to because if we get online, or we have to spin again.
Oh yeah, of course. There's the infinitesimal chance we hit the line. You're right. If we hit the line, we have to delete the channel.
The traditions must be maintained. Oh wow!
Oh, shock horror.
How lucky it's landed on. Well, let's just check. Breath or breatharianism.
Shut up, Meg.
Only one breath.
Oh, damn gong!
Glove.
Well, the gong went off. I guess that's it.
That's it. We're done. The gong's playing itself at the moment.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
I think it's saved.
Everyone, this is the final video of the night. Breatharianism.
Hi my friends and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Remo Orr. This channel is dedicated for those...
Wait a minute!
Wait, that's the same guy, isn't it?
I told you so.
No, it's the same guy.
Just has
I
a
didn't
different
know.
hairdo and
Same
put
guy,
on-
worse hair.
Oh, I didn't know it was the same guy.
Ow.
Breatharians.
Okay.
I suppose we have to. Oh, well.
How long is this extraordinarily absurd?
The absurdity of this. Oh my goodness, no. This one lasts for 13 minutes and 57 seconds. I can feel a gong in this video's feature.
Or at the very least, speed up, because Eddie would sound funny.
Man, Weird Al's career has really gone downhill, huh?
That is. Let's have a look. What should we crank him up to? Let's try 125.
All right. Sounds good.
Hi, my friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Remo Orr. This channel is dedicated for those that
That's
are
hilarious.
working on their spiritual or personal development. Today's topic is going to be about the 4 different levels of breatharianism. Now, I know a lot of people have some confusion. A lot of people have old programs that have to do with this word, breatharianism. So I want to introduce to you guys this concept about the modern new type of breatharians and to show you that there's actually different levels. So it's not absolute, it's not only black or white. Complete in it, don't eat anything at all, don't drink anything at all, live off energy in the Himalaya mountains in India,
that breathe
or
and also drink a lot of protein
eat everything
shakes.
and only indulging in the most terrible type of foods and stuff like that. So no, I want to introduce to you guys the different shades of gray, where I am at, where I was, the people I know and stuff like that. So stay tuned. We have noticed that there are actually 4 different categories of breatharians. Now, unlike a regular video that we start from level 1, I actually want to go back in reverse because I want to begin with the few that are actually level 4 breatharians, and that means that they actually go without food and without water. Now, how is this possible? How it's feasible? For every cell, there is an engine of light. We are consciously, our DNA is actually more open, more wide, and more complex than that of a tree. I'm not going to go into the how because it's really, really hard to explain. Plus, it requires an understanding that is beyond science and biology, but something that is more of the metaphysical dimensions, energies, vibration of the body, the consciousness that is interfering with the illusion of humanity and stuff like that. So number 4 are actually a few individuals in the world, and again, you can really count them on 2 hands, the ones that we are familiar with, that also don't drink at all and also don't eat at all. That means that they also don't have, they don't urinate. It means that they don't have number 2s, bowel movements. It means that their system adapted in a completely different way. Now, some of them tell us that they had a very difficult process. For example, one of them lost all his teeth, and it took him another 3 or 4 months of being without any teeth to grow his teeth back. They actually do consume water, but not in the way that you would think.
Wow.
They actually, their pores of their skin open up. By breathing, they usually live in a place that is humid. He actually has learned through their process to take the energy of water from the air itself and to survive out of very, very little. A scientific study that was done on Prajani, a level 4 breatharian, where they actually ultrasounded his bladder, has shown that his bladder actually does contain urine, and then the body absorbs it. and then contains urine, and then the body absorbs it. So it's quite amazing because the body actually learns how to recycle the water.
No,
it means that the blood is still being cleansed.
Literally, the whole point of urine is that it is waste that your body is expelling. If it was useful to your body, you would not get rid of it. That's the reason we get rid of urine. If your body is absorbing urine, your body is not doing something right.
Yeah.
That's literally the whole point. Also, I will say, I think Thunderfoot did an excellent debunking of this whole breatharian thing, especially like the whole point of like he's talking about this, biomechanical machinery. It's like your body takes energy to run, and if you're not eating, you're not getting that energy. This is why people die of starvation.
Yeah, you would have thought that various terrible prison camps would have been a natural environment for breatharians to appear.
If this stuff was possible, no one would die of starvation.
Well.
So that whole regrowing teeth thing, that is beyond stupid.
A lot.
I dread to ask, but we watch a bit more.
Yeah, let's. Yeah, I must say, that speed helps.
It does help.
Yeah.
By the kidneys. However, you don't actually waste it anymore because there's nothing coming from the outside. So those are 4 level 4 breatharians, and again, these are very, very few. Level 3 breatharians, that's where I am at, is people who are experiencing breatharianism, people who are not really hungry anymore, people who did go through the proper initiations, and even inside the level 3, there are people who consume more and people who consume less. None of us consume like a regular person does, or on average, of course, and none of us consume like we used to before our initiation. I would say that those that do consume, they consume very little, and then again, there are groups of those that consume once a week a meal, there's those that consume once a day, something very, very small in the evening, those that do drink water, those that don't. In the beginning, my first year, 1 full year, I just drank, 2 glasses of juice or something like that a day. So it's people who are experimenting, people who are not ready to go to level 4. It's usually people who are living in the Western society, people who has families and stuff like that. Because when you go level 4, a lot of them have the characteristics of a person that also doesn't want to be involved sexually. In other words, your sexual desires kind of disappear, and you want to be one with spirit. Your masculinity, your femininity become one. So I've noticed that level 4s are actually much more feminine, much more spiritual, and usually they're really, really lean. So some people say that they don't really look good, and that's why I chose to be a level 3. Plus, a level 4 has heard a calling for it. Prajani, for example, has a premonition, had this epiphany when he was 8 years old, that a goddess came up to him in his dream and just told him that from this day on, you are not allowed to drink or to eat anymore, and you will survive. So I didn't have that, even though my spiritual ego wanted that, but it didn't really happen, so I just decided to remain at level 3. Plus, it makes me more accessible, I believe, because a lot of people say, you're not one of those guides that is all the way up there and he survives out of these initiations, but you have a regular job. And that makes you grounded. You have one leg in the actual world with a family, and I'm an IT engineer, I'm a computer programmer. And on the other hand, you are actually wanting to work more on your spirituality and want to understand things. And that's what makes me kind of unique in between worlds. So that's level 3. Level 2 are people who have either done an initiation and are on and off the prana. In other words, they go 2 weeks yes, 2 weeks no, 3 months yes, 3 months no. They're kind of pondering this type of lifestyle. They're not fully integrated, as one might say. So it means that they do occasionally go through struggles. It means that their integration, again, is not complete. Usually we would say that a person after the initiation, it takes about 2 to 3 months to completely integrate it, and then the program has really shifted. The body is used to it, the mind is used to it, social pressures and other things like that, they don't bother you as much as before. So those are level 2s. It can also be people who are interested in this, people who are practicing dry fasting a few days a week, people who are practicing intermittent fasting quite often, people who are very, very connected. Level 2s, level 3s, and level 4s will usually not be the type of person that smokes cigarettes, will usually not be the type of person that eats meat or even dairy and stuff like that. They are more connected, and therefore they are eating food that is higher vibration, and they don't eat that occasionally. In other words, they do not surrender, and they do not believe the body. They understand that it's a part of a program, and they understand that the consciousness...
Okay, what is a food that's high in vibration?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Since he says it's high in vibration, there's obviously a way to measure the vibration level of each food to know which ones are better than others.
It's measured in wibbles. Yeah. And a wibble is something that will tell you what the vibration is. See? Simple.
He brings up a good point there. How many wibbles does it have?
Yeah. And will a wibble become a wobble if you do it at
if you're
level 4?
if you're eating wobbles, that's how you know something's gone horribly wrong.
Ah, yeah, there we go. And are waffles only wibbles that have become wobbled?
I gotta be honest, there you lost me.
Yeah. Well, what else can I do following this guy? If I haven't lost you, I'm not being breatharian.
Heck, cucumbers.
Now, are we going to have some new guy come along and tell us there are actually 6 levels of breatharians? We're going to have a breath off between the two?
Well,
breatharianism, or how to starve to death while feeling really self-righteous about it.
Yeah.
Well, we can prove that breatharianism actually is very good. I mean, why don't you try going a couple of days without breathing and see how you feel?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's a good point.
I suppose there have been the scientific investigations of this where we take the breatharian and put them in like a locked container. It doesn't even, it can be airtight. I mean, after all, and let's see what happens. And this, if this method was good enough for Pasteur and the biogenesis thing, it ought to be good enough for breatharians. Do some science.
Okay, so we'll watch the rest of it.
A mower in a bottle.
Has shifted to something that is beyond, and we understand that there is something that we define as prana, or the energy of life, that can actually sustain us when we allow it and when we change our belief to it. So those are level 2s. Level 2s usually, eventually, want to become level 3, and sometimes they have just integration issues. Their spouse doesn't accept it, their mother doesn't accept it, their children don't accept it, they don't accept it, stuff like that. They're struggling in some way sometimes, and sometimes they're just happy where they are. They don't want to go more than intermittent fasting. They don't want to check out the next level for them. Level 1s are not actually breatharians, even though they are in the category. In other words, level 1s are people who are interested in this. It's like a very light version of level 2. So they're experiencing once in a while a detox, and they understand that it works for them. They went a long time ago from eating meat and being a carnivore to a vegetarian or a vegan. Maybe they experienced liquidarian or fruitarian for a while. They know that it exists, but for now, it's not for them.
Do you have any
they know that it exists, but they don't imagine that they are capable of reaching that level. Sometimes the spiritual ego is involved, saying that we are not good enough, or other people are better than we are in this, and therefore we don't even try. Sometimes we have the excuses of the initiation costs money, or it takes a week and a half of being on holiday, and I can't really do that right now. So level 1s are a very light version of level 2s. And of course, we can also say that there's level 0, people who are not familiar with breatharianism at all. People who are naturally, by the way, have a higher percentage, energetic percentage. People who are more excited about life, and therefore they eat less because there's a very strong connection between the physical body and the emotional body. People who have experienced fasting without understanding that they're experiencing it, and in the future, they will understand that it is a part of being some sort of a level of breatharianism. In other words, the pranic engine is open. So level 0 is most of the population. Level 1, of course, is less. Level 2 is less. Level 3 is less. And level 4 is really a bunch of individuals that are raising the consciousness in the world. And wherever you find yourself, it is perfect for the person that you are right now. You might aspire, because there's levels, you want to be the best. So a lot of my students, they come and I teach how to become a level 3, which for me is the first step. I don't think level 1, I think level 1 and level 2 is kind of like playing around and it's fun. It's sort of like you're an adolescent and you have a lot of girlfriends before you commit to someone that is more serious. But when you are more serious, then you choose to become a level 3. You do the integration appropriately in the right way. And afterwards, if you want, integrate it for a few months, see how you feel, and then your spiritual ego will be reduced. You will see if it is a real need that you have to display to serve humanity by becoming a level 4, and then you can slowly reduce the juice and slowly reduce the water. You make sure that you are okay, the physical body is getting it, your mind is accepting it, society is not judging you too much, and you're okay with it, and then you can become level 4. Now again, my spiritual ego wanted that, and eventually when I talked to him, by the way, I had a challenge with him, he told me he was really excited about it, and I said,
yeah, I was waiting, hoping we'd run down the clock here, but you said 4 minutes.
It's 4 minutes.
Go on this shit, man.
Shut up, Meg.
Yeah,
It's gone.
There she goes. Thanks, Meg.
I have fasted without realizing it. I've sometimes gone close to 3 days without food. Yeah, I do not wind up feeling spiritually enlightened.
I mean, for me, this in that case, the feeling of spiritual enlightenment is just having a headache.
The Navy would want Breatharians on the submarines. Imagine how much convenient that would be with
or astronauts. I know even James Randi went over that once.
Yeah. So
of course,
a tremendous...
if you want to understand life, the universe, and everything, you must achieve level 42.
Exactly.
Yes.
Of Breatharian. He's only up to 4. He doesn't realize how far you can go with this, especially when you learn how to sanitize telephones.
Yeah, do you have any idea what people have been saying into those things?
Yeah.
Filthy.
And then, of course, you don't even want to know what the true use of the Babel fish is.
Yeah, if this is going to lower my sex drive, that's really not going to work out, because that's about the only motivation I have to do anything anymore.
Are you wait? Hold on. Wait, look. Starving yourself to death is very sexy, I've been told.
And although this guy is doing his spiel and telling you how wonderful it is, down in his genitalia, the little sperm are going, wait a minute! Wait a minute! Reconsider this, man!
Yeah, I know what it's like to do some fasting unintentionally, because when the body decides that it's not going to work right, then so is that what breatharianism is? I mean, when you get sick with something and you simply cannot eat and you die. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure it's true.
How long has this breatharianism crap been around anyway? Does anybody know?
Good question. Apparently, I would not be surprised that the guy he showed the picture of was one of the progenitors of this thing, and that he was just announcing that.
Yeah. I'll say I'll say it again. Thunderfoot did a really good breakdown. I mean, granted, it's Thunderfoot, so there's a lot of the material is inside of the video. It's a bit extraneous, I think. But overall, he has a good point of showing out as you just even just like you're existing and breathing, you're losing mass through exhaling your carbon dioxide, because that carbon has to come from somewhere.
Right.
So you're literally just wasting away because you're exhaling mass. It has to come from somewhere. So eventually you're going to run out of mass, and that's when you die. So
now this is interesting. I went to the font of all knowledge here, and we have a little picture.
No.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said the fount of all.
However,
I thought you said the fount of all references from 3 centuries ago. My bad. I simple mistake.
Darren Marsh has it. He subsists entirely on reabsorbed sperm.
There you go. But there is a picture of a 1669 report that claims a woman fasted for 12 months. Now, I don't know that this was a part of any movement or lack of movement in this case. But it seems to have been around for a little while.
And there's also the thing that it especially is associated with Catholic saints. Once in a while, the saint will drop dead and their body doesn't decay, supposedly. So
yeah.
I think there's a lot of tropes on that. The Hindu notion has always had a kind of a distaste for the physical world, like it's not really natural for us to do that, and so you want to escape from it. So the sex issue would fit in there. There's some Hindu cults that have a really bother about losing stuff from the body, so they re-ingest their ejaculations and all of that to keep it in the family, as it were.
Okay,
whatever weird idea you can imagine, somebody somewhere will have thought of it. And then maybe or maybe not do a video on it, which is what happens today. Somebody just has to do a video on it. Yeah.
All right. So, okay, here's this guy that he mentioned, this Prahlad Johnny, or whatever the fuck the guy's name is, appearing to survive without food or water for 15 days. Well, that's not impossible.
Yeah.
As far as I understand.
15 years, that would be damn.
Yeah. So are they stretching the definitions here?
So we would want to see more documentation on this, in the same way that you have problems trying to document psychic phenomenon and ghosts and anything else. But overall, if a guy gets up on a YouTube video and tells it, it must be true, right?
The breatharians would be easy to document. You just, keep them in a home that has cameras in every room so that you can watch them 24 hours a day. And you just see whether or not they eat. And if they can stay in there for a couple of weeks without eating anything, that would prove it.
Yeah, it would be a remarkably easy thing to verify.
Yeah.
That they can mark down what things they will ingest or not. So if they will just have like a couple little things of juice, like he says, and do it in front of everybody.
Like I said, Thunderfoot is a good example. They showed off some woman who, they didn't have her, they had her not eat or drink for a while, and she started getting to a point where medically she was not well.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
I'd say the proof.
We rediscovered the concept of starvation.
Proof of the breathing is in the not breathing? I don't know.
Can I just jump in with a super chat we've had from Zemo42 for $5, who says, if they want to eat sunlight, they should be studying genetics and not woo.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Zemo.
Okay. It will be a higher state where they become the extreme cyanobacterium.
I like it.
Yeah.
Chlorian
if they're a Star Wars person.
I mean, if they're gonna eat sunlight, shouldn't they be green? Full of chloroplasts.
Yeah, well, they're full of something.
Yeah.
Okay.
They reabsorb their bullshit. You see.
Well, okay. On your keyboard, I'm very proud of you.
If the breatharians are living off of sunlight, then logically, wouldn't people with a lot more melanin in their skin be better at it because they absorb more of the sunlight?
You would almost think so.
Yeah. Of course, that would be applying reason and logic to something.
RJ's right. Let's not try and dissect this in some kind of way that would make sense.
It's not with thought here.
Colorado Biker Prepper has a great idea here. Wants to see the breatharians try to live by only breathing hydrogen sulfide.
Would a different gas matter? If they were all in a pure CO2 environment, would it make a difference? You'd think.
Yeah.
Okay, Tulsa Ranger's saying the rule of threes. You can survive 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. I think that sounds about right.
And
it does, as a matter of fact.
Time that Guru Ramachandra supposedly survived.
Colorado Biker Prepper does, make the point. Melanin reduces absorption of sunlight. Yeah, that's why the darker folks are at the tropics and the lighter folks are at the poles. Yeah. Okay.
So what did we learn from our videos tonight? We learned that there are red squiggly things coming from the sun, and we learned that you don't need any food or water at all, and therefore Trader Joe's is going to go out of business.
Oh my.
There were strange space aliens who gave us the microwave oven but couldn't figure out how to cure cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Come down and communicate with Hanyoks on YouTube.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the glove.
The glove. Oh, yeah. Oh, I almost forgot the glove. We will go up to the ceiling and play with the glove. Yeah.
Oh dear, I think the entire panel is broken tonight.
This would be the week I had to show up. Okay.
Ditto.
If you had taken all of those scenes from all of those videos and randomly reassembled them, the information content in them would still be zero.
I will say a random reordering of those videos. I would watch the hell out of that.
There we go. And then put a zingy little soundtrack to it. You know, do a Bollywood version of it. That's what we need.
Bollywood movie.
A Bollywood version of anything.
Yeah.
Good. Reading the phone directory, going through the stipulations on an AOL contract. I mean, it really won't matter if it's done in Bollywood.
RJ, you're so funny. AOL doesn't exist.
Colorado
I've
Biker.
heard all night.
Well, that's my email.
Colorado Biker is asking if breatharians would drop dead from having to wear masks.
Ooh. They should be the easiest ones for that because they don't breathe.
Yep.
Yeah. Or do they breathe? Just the air. That's right.
I feel like I need to step in and just draw this madness to a close before we all descend into complete insanity.
Yep.
An intervention, damn cheese. You got to do. You got to.
Yeah, it's time to say goodnight.
I think it's time to say. It is absolutely time to say goodnight. Before we go, does anybody want to shill anything out? Tell us anything, or what?
Well, come Sunday, there's my usual show, Coffee with Lavender, Sunday at noon Eastern. Tornado, Momnado, Kate, and myself do our stuff. And as we've been doing, well, Kate and I have been doing it for the last couple of years. It amazes the heck out of me that people are actually watching us after 2 years. But for some reason, you guys do. And come on by for some more stuff. We might have a theme, we might not, but we'll have fun. Looking forward to seeing you.
Awesome. And if somebody didn't know how to find you, what would the channel be, or how would they find that show?
My channel is The Lavender Lady. Let me do a little thing over here. I'll put it in the www.youtube.
I guess we don't have Amiga here.
Say again.
We don't have Amiga here, but I've got the list, so I'll find it.
I can post that out as soon as that goes into the chat. While the Lavender Lady is doing that, does anyone else have anything they want to shell out?
Buy my books.
Buy my books. Where did you post that? Oh, you've done it. I was going to say I'll post it in the chat, but you've done it. Good.
And did I tell you, RJ, that Sloth Girl and Purple gave me as a gift a copy of Rocks?
Delightful. And what do you think of it so far?
So far, I'm finding it a lot easier to read than Evolution Slam Dunk, simply because the citation style is different.
Yeah, we changed that to make that more friendly, and the info boxes I think work really better than a way of collating some of the side issues in there.
And it's fascinating. It really is.
Yeah, it's a good.
I don't know how long
thick that you can use to hit over the head of any creationist you encounter.
Yes, I have to look at this and think, what does this weigh? About 5 or 6 pounds?
It was literally at the outer limit of how big the book could be and still be printed. And volume 2 is probably going to be a comparable size. We're really, I'm working on that literally as we speak.
When do you expect that to come out for all the people out there who are interested?
If we're lucky, before the end of the year, if not 2022.
Oh, okay.
I'm working. Jackson has been doing a lot of his chapters in there. I'm now knee deep in the fludgeology chapter with all the stuff about. That's going to be going into great detail on the Grand Canyon and paleoclimates and the Noah's Ark people that find crap and the soft tissues and dinosaurs, stegosaurs in Cambodia. I mean, there's a ton of stupid that we're going to be putting all in there, and then all the material on human evolution, origin of vertebrates. It's juicy.
So I've really got to get to work on reading this baby so that I can be done by the time volume 2 comes out.
Yeah.
And let's hope I'm alive to read it. Yay.
Yeah, well, you've been hanging in there, kid.
It amazes me that I've been hanging in as long as I have, really. I mean, let's
never
consider
underestimate stubbornness.
Yeah, because I found out about the indications of this problem 2 years ago, and I'm still here. Jesus. I don't know, when are you folks going to finally be rid of this? What's the line? Will no one rid me of this meddlesome priest?
Oh, the priestess, Henry II and Becket.
Yes.
Will no one rid me of this meddlesome priest? Which Becket was a very nice movie with Peter O'Toole.
Yeah.
And then he went on to play Henry II in The Lion in Winter with Katharine Hepburn. And if you haven't seen that movie, what the hell is wrong with you? That's a masterpiece.
Oh, it is. I saw that. Oh, for the love of St. Gulick.
I'm convinced that if Lavender Lady wasn't so stubborn and would let some people help her, we could drag this out a few more years.
Yeah.
You got to realize that stubborn is my second middle name.
Exactly. So go for it.
Diana Athena Stubborn Clarion.
It looks great on the business card, doesn't it?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you have to cut down the type size in order to fit it in there,
Yeah, 6-point italic. Oh boy. Geez, what happens when you have people like us, old farts, in on the show?
What I do need, and this is very serious, I need some help from some people to try to give me some ideas on how to pay for treatment. I've been doing a lot of looking and trying to find programs to assist paying for things like dialysis and everything else. And
the absence of national health care again.
Yes, and one of the things I've noticed is the one program I was looking at yesterday will start the payments coming after you've gone out of pocket for your dialysis for 3 months. I did some back of the envelope calculations. We're talking $50,000 here for that.
Yeah, you have to become impoverished first.
Yeah. And no, I'm not going to let that happen because I have to eat, I have to pay rent.
Yeah.
That. And the thing is, I cannot go to the well and say, please give me money, for 2 reasons. Number one, I just don't like the idea of begging for money. And I'm who's got that kind of money, really? I mean, even when you talk,
it can't hurt though if you set up a GoFundMe account and just give it a whirl.
And then the other problem though is, I'm afraid that collecting money on a GoFundMe, etc., would do bad things to my Section 8 housing and other things like that. Yeah.
Well, that unfortunately does seem to be a legitimate concern. That it could disqualify you from help you're already getting.
Yeah.
And why we need national health care, Diane.
Yes, it is. And there's another thing I would like to do. I would like to be a voice crying in the wilderness for national health care. Really. We've got to do this. We've got to get past the horrible, well, they call themselves conservatives. I call them assholes. Get past that selfishness of, I've got mine, you can go to fuck. And we actually do need some assistance for all of us because, for example, something like healthcare is just totally out of hand.
Yeah. There's a group in Washington State that's wanting to have health care for all and no ifs, ands about, Bernie Sanders is into it and all the rest. But awful lot of political hurdles in there, even though we spend more money on healthcare than any other nation in the industrial world, and it's not getting us what we need.
And part of the reason we spend more on healthcare than anyone else is because the profits from that healthcare tab are greater here than they are anywhere else. You know, you've got shareholders getting a whole lot of money, and thank you. What was his first name? Kaiser and Richard Nixon, who Nixon did his friend Kaiser a favor and allowed profiteering off healthcare. What was it? The Health Maintenance Act or whatever the hell that was called back in the 70s. And that really, 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 really opened the floodgates.
Yeah, well, that stands in marked contrast to the light humor with which we started the show.
I have this habit of dragging shit down, don't I?
Well, okay, kids. I'm going to be out of here, and everybody take care. Stay safe, everybody. You take care of yourself, Diana, and see you next week for more stupid.
That sounds like fun. That sounds, you be good, RJ. Have fun, and love you dearly.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Let's shut this down. Good night, everyone. This has been good fun. Thank you to everyone on the panel. Thank you to everyone in the side chat. Good night.
Ladies. Good night, ladies.